Anthony on satellite radio. Host Anthony Camilla and Greg Opie.
Controversial team. And Anthony apologizing for yet another raunchy
comment profanity-laced rap. Is this the last straw for the raunchy radio duo?
I have a raging heart on.
Let me tell you something about this radio show you listen to. We are really good.
Yeah, man, we hang out, we gonna be all wet. Yeah, man.
We know when we suck. We know when we're great. But we do like when you say how great we are.
Holy shit! Oh, my good golly!
Hey, look, we're broadcasting again.
But enough of this palaver. Let's get the show on the road.
Good morning. Welcome to the Opie and Anthony Show.
Hello, everybody.
We got lots to do today, man. Holy crap. We got that crybaby Lindsay Lohan. We got to give her a little bit of a beating today.
What happened?
Well, we'll get into it.
Oh, poor Lindsay.
Then we got some chick digging the breast milk cheese that her husband/chef makes.
What?
Yuck.
Didn't you guys try some of that out and it was like gamey?
Well, who was it? It was what's his name there?
It was Pat
Duffy's
sister's breast milk, and we made ice cream.
Yeah. Me and Danny tried it, right?
I tried it, yeah.
Did Pat Duffy try it? Because that's
so.
pretty sick.
We forced him to try it.
Tried his sister's breast milk.
So this is nothing new, making something out of breast milk.
It wasn't bad up front, but...
Up front, it was nice, but it didn't have a nice bouquet or whatever the fuck it's called. What's it called? The aftertaste, Ann, in wine drinking. It goes down nice at first, and then legs or something.
The legs is when it runs down the side of the glass.
Right.
It's
the aftertaste, not the aftertaste. It's like the second taste. Like the initial hits you, and it tastes just like ice cream, and then the second taste hits you, and it was absolutely gamey.
Finish.
Was it like the finish of the whole thing, maybe?
Is it called the finish? Because that's what I'm getting on it. Ew, God, I got to turn and look at toenail fungus.
Why not?
What the fuck is going on? People
Looks
are
delish.
Eating their breakfasts.
Most people have that going on in their toes.
Not that bad.
You're one of the lucky ones.
No.
You don't have the yellow toes or the cloudy toes?
No.
Consider yourself lucky, my friend.
Oh, no.
I had to take care of that shit on my little tootsies. So now my liver is damaged. No joke.
What?
The medication is like very dangerous. You can't drink on it or nothing.
Well, then I
guess you'll just
shan't be
let
using
your toes
that.
rot.
I'd rather have rotty toes.
But the ice cream, it started out nice, and then it turned out the second taste, whatever you want to call it, was completely awful. It was gamey. It kind of had like a mothball feel to it. Right? Like a musky, like almost like human sweat / gamey taste to it.
It was almost like a sour. Like it went down nice, and then it got sour afterwards.
It got sour really fast.
That is
so. This chef,
disgusting.
This chef, a lot of people are confused because it's on the front page of the paper. I guess we're getting into this story right away. That's fine. The chef takes his wife's breast milk and makes cheese out of it, but he's not serving it at the restaurant he cooks at.
Well, I would hope not.
Well, when I first heard about this...
going on the menu?
Yeah, I just assumed this is what the guy was doing.
Yeah.
And Liz Thorpe, I guess, is someone who tried it. I don't know if it's his wife. No, it's not his wife. Okay, Liz Thorpe, right, meaning the picture to the right, vice president of Murray's Cheese in Greenwich Village. Oh, so they went to a cheese expert with this guy's breast milk cheese.
Titty cheese.
With his titty cheese. Thank you, Anthony.
Titty cheese.
So she's an expert on cheese. She works in this shop in Greenwich Village. And she gives her take on the breast milk cheese. Ready for this? This is going to fucking gross you out.
I'm not.
It was slippery, slightly crunchy, and tasted like pickles.
God, that's disgusting.
And she gives it a thumbs down.
Yeah, I would too.
And it is called a finish. Okay, thank you, Dan, Virginia Beach.
If something is slippery and crunchy and pickly tasting and it's cheese, that is a putrid description of something. That really is disgusting.
I don't think cheese is supposed to be crunchy. I'm trying to think. I've had a few of those world cheeses over the years. I don't think they're supposed to be crunchy.
No, it's supposed to be like creamy, like the texture is. You know, cheese.
Yeah. Unless it's a specialty cheese where they put some kind of crunch in. But I'm assuming
crunch in it.
I'm assuming this chef did not make make it with the
Talking
hope that it was crunchy.
Your basic American, Swiss, stuff like that.
What about...
mozzarella. Mozzarella. Like my mother used to make it. She'd take the mozzarella.
What's wrong with cheddar?
Cheddar?
Sharp cheddar.
Fucking love cheddar.
Okay.
Probably
good.
my favorite cheese
you
ever.
Scared me.
Is a nice sharp cheddar.
Yeah.
Sliced and put on crackers.
I don't like cheese that you have to kind of like spoon out and spread.
No.
I'm not a fan of that. No.
No.
I want a nice slice.
What about cottage cheese?
Ugh.
Do you like cottage cheese?
Hell fucking no.
I can't even look at it.
Hell fucking
It
no.
just seems disgusting.
What about goat cheese?
Goat cheese, another gamey fucking...
Goat cheese and feta cheese is a waste of time.
Fucking smells like goat udder.
Feta on a nice Greek salad, it's okay.
Yeah?
But nah, nothing better than like a nice blue cheese, which
It needed the money.
which is in the crumbled cheese category.
Crumbled.
Yeah, you don't spread it really, but it does
No,
break
you
apart very
crumble it.
easily. Yeah,
Wonderful on a salad.
yeah,
Crumbled blue cheese.
No.
Yes.
yes. Blue cheese rules. What's wrong with
Wonderful.
you?
It's
salad.
rotting. It's molding. Stop it.
All cheeses are basically rotting and
No,
molding.
I don't like that, like moldy fucking blue cheese.
Good, man.
I don't like feta cheese.
You don't like feta?
Feta cheese.
Feta
cheese.
Got
No.
Greek leg hairs in it.
Yeah, feta cheese is very overrated.
Greek chest hair.
I love feta cheese.
It's
Big
overrated.
Greek eyebrows stuck in fucking grape leaves.
That shit is overrated, Jimmy.
I love feta cheese.
I don't hate it, but it's just overrated. It's just there.
I like cheese that I can break, and I can break like a block of cheese.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
can just sprinkle up my fingers like a thumb across
You
my
like that?
Yeah.
Well, the cheese expert continues. She goes, if breast milk cheese was good cheese, we would stock it. So she would stock it in this specialty shop she runs in Greenwich Village.
That seems like it would be sort of toxic or something, like toxic waste.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, the mother is saying, look, man, I'm healthier than what they're doing to the cows that make the real cheese.
Man.
No matter what the city says, Lori Mason insists the breast milk she supplied her cheese-making husband is more wholesome than anything on the shelves at Whole Foods.
Well, there you go. How about some ball cheese then? Why don't we just go to fucking the whole route? How about ass crack cheese and belly button cheese?
Why don't we try the cheese?
Fucking uncircumcised cock cheese. Do you want that too? If we're going to take human body cheese and make cheese out of it?
Well, why don't we at least try it?
God damn you, Danny.
The fuck is that?
Oh, God. I don't know. He's got a picture of a big...
Oh, my God.
Oh, God.
Jesus.
Got a picture of a cock and there's some cheesy shit
Smegma,
on
it's
it.
kind of collected.
Schmeg is collected under the rim of the helmet.
It looks like the skin has been pulled back, revealing a cluster of smegma. Raptor. Can I see that again, Dan?
Why do you need to see it again?
Because I wanted to make sure I'm describing it accurately.
Yeah,
It's a pink cock, not very large, and the skin is taut. It's been pulled back.
Yes.
Revealing a milky white cluster of cheese on the bottom of the head and under the rim.
With a few dark spots in it.
Yeah. Looks like it has a really strong stench.
That is disgusting.
A pungent odor.
Well, how about this? One of our fine listeners, can't give you credit because I don't know what your fucking name is because you did it off your phone. Can you make it tit Cheez-Its?
Cheez-Its?
Cheese tits.
Tit Cheez-Its. Or tit... We can work on the name, but let's do this. Let's get some of this fucking breast milk cheese and let's try it out. What's wrong with you guys?
No way, no how.
Well, I know I'm in because I did the ice cream. And Danny, are you in?
Tit cheese.
Would you try some breast
look.
milk cheese?
Yeah, I'll try some, absolutely.
I just saw Nicolini was just sniffing a bunch of cheese on her fucking
Well,
desk.
fuck, if they can get breast milk cheese, why can't
Are
we?
they?
Maybe they have regular cheese. Who knows what they
There's a
have?
bunch of regular cheese. I don't know. Maybe they'll do it
No,
when
they're
they come
doing it.
back.
I bet you they're doing one of those taste tests.
Are they?
What?
Because she was smelling it and kind of making a funny face. I don't know. Maybe we ought to get that audio.
See, if we had a producer, we would have like a taste test contest today.
Yes.
But this is the obvious stuff that you need to do if you produce a radio show. It's a no-brainer. You have cheese waiting for us, and one of them is the breast milk cheese.
Sorry, my Prius took off and went in the opposite direction of work.
Can you get breast milk cheese, though?
I think they got it on Channel 11. Why not?
It might be. I don't know what the deal is. I just saw her, like, making a really funky face while she was looking at some cheese.
Steve goes, do you want to talk to the guy? I don't want to talk to the guy. I want to try it out.
Maybe we should find out if we talk to him if we can get some of his cheese.
That's the bit, and very obvious.
She's checking out cheeses from the Stinky Cheese Festival. Is that what's going on? Is there a Stinky Cheese Festival going on?
Yes, in my underpants. That's what I call it. That's what I call it.
Come to the Stinky Cheese Festival?
Yeah, that's how I get a blowjob. I'll point at my balls and I say, come to the Stinky Cheese Festival.
Oh, my God.
How often does that work for you?
I'd say 1 out of every 1,400 times. Like if I fuck and I don't wipe it off for 2 or 3 days, and then I shit a few times, and then I do some jumping jacks.
I want to do the cheese tasting. Let's go. Or let's get the stinky cheeses in here. Let's do something with cheese today.
Christ.
Dan in Connecticut.
Hey, boys. Just wanted to thank you for letting me throw up my breakfast burrito in my mouth while I'm
That's really fucking
slimy, crunchy breast milk.
What part got you? The description, the crunchy thing?
Dude, the slimy, crunchy? Are you kidding me?
It was slippery.
God.
Slippery?
I think she was being polite. I think slippery does mean slimy.
Yep.
I think she was trying to be nice about it.
Slimy.
It's the
You're
same.
right.
You know what? The one thing about cheese, it's not supposed to be slippery. You take a block of cheese and you throw it on your kitchen counter, it's going to stick immediately.
Thud.
It's going to just thud. It's not supposed to slide across the counter and fall on the floor.
Fresh mozzarella. That's kind of slimy and watery.
But that's not going to move too much either, man.
But that's like good stuff.
Yeah. All right, let me continue. Her milk is 100% organic, free range, and full grass fed. She told the Post, I eat healthier than your average cow, and I'm not pumped full of steroids.
You're a fucking person.
When Mason's husband, Daniel, blogged about making some of his wife's excess breast milk into cheese, customers at his restaurant, began demanding to have a taste. They wanted to fucking taste it.
They wanted a taste.
Yeah, but they wanted it right from her tits.
Yeah.
He didn't understand what they were saying.
It's not against the law, but the city was strongly advising not to do it.
Of course. There's got to be a health fucking problem with that.
The cheese could cause a potential health hazard. There you go, Aunt, the official said. That did not stop diners eager to sample the human dairy from showing up at the restaurant yesterday. We had some people who ordered the cheese plate, and I had to tell them we don't serve the breast milk cheese in the restaurant. I told them if they want to try it, there's a recipe on his website. Oh, my God.
Great. Nice recipe.
Oh, my God. Does this help your business or hurt your business? I imagine if we put breast milk cheese on the menu at F.H. Riley's, I would say it hurts business.
I would say it hurts.
You get a couple weirdos that need to come in.
Of freaks that come in. Give me your tit cheese.
I need to try your tit cheese.
I hear you got tit cheese. Yeah, we got the tit. Give me.
I need a plate of tit cheese.
Right now.
Right. But the rest of the people are like, what's fucking wrong with you? It was slippery, slightly crunchy. It tastes like pickles. We did that part, but I wanted to say it again. They're saying it's unsafe, probably. It's not intended for adults or for wide public consumption. Risk would depend on the health of the lactating woman. No intention of selling the wife's cheese, blah, blah, blah. All right, so it's a huge story, though. It's right on the front page.
That's fantastic.
So let's hunt down some breast milk cheese. We were able to do breast milk ice cream. Why not breast milk cheese?
Well, they're showing cheese on the news, and it's just disgusting. Lindbergh and You want some gorgonzola? Do you like gorgonzola?
Isn't that a blue cheese derivative of something?
I don't know.
Well, I'd like an answer, please.
The cheeses I like the most, I don't know. I don't know what they're called. That's the problem.
Cheese.
You get a really nice piece of cheese, and they tell you what it is. You can't remember
Swiss,
the name.
Cheddar, American.
No, it gets way better than that stuff, Ant.
No.
It really gets way better than that stuff.
I'm not a
I'm
cheese
telling
guy.
you it does, though.
Cheese makes me like, it brings up that, like, phlegm. Yeah.
Phlegmy?
I mentioned that in my new book, Cheese Inc. It's all about cheese and the culture of Americana.
Hey, E-Rock, can we hunt down some breast milk cheese? Sure. Or some of these stinky cheeses?
Ugh.
We just want to try some cheese today.
How about this smoked Gouda?
Smoked Gouda, yeah.
There's nothing better than a week's worth.
Now you're talking.
A stoned wheat cracker and some smoked Gouda on it.
Now you're fucking talking.
Smoked Gouda
sounds disgusting.
It's amazing.
I don't like the names of cheeses. You know, they've named cheeses things that are disgusting. Limburger cheese.
Swiss
it smells like the baby.
Swiss sounds okay.
No, because you used to... Try to like make believe you're hearing the word Swiss for the first time. It doesn't sound good. You just
like
know it as Swiss for your entire life.
Switzerland and Swiss. That's okay. Swiss
cocoa.
Swiss doesn't sound bad. Gorgonzola sounds disgusting. Gorgonzola. Ugh. And Gouda doesn't sound good either.
Gouda is
it's just names for cheeses.
Gorgonzola sounds like something that it's like the 5th stage of penile cancer. You have gorgonzola, which means they have to slice off your penis or you don't live.
Of the cock. I got gorgonzola to prick.
Oh yeah, this guy. I know a little something about cheeses, and this guy Dustin is right. Go ahead, Dustin in Texas. Listen to this little fun fact.
I watched a show one time where there's in some foreign country they make a certain kind of cheese and they use maggots to soften it up.
Got to use the maggots to soften it up.
Just stop.
I'm telling you.
The maggots eat through the cheese and then they shit it out and it makes it really soft.
I'm telling you.
That what?
What kind of cheese is that? It's maggot. Oh, maggot duty cheese.
Yeah, maggot duty cheese.
Well, Ed, you started this by saying cheese is rotting. I mean,
yeah.
What they have to do to make cheese is not pretty.
I've seen shows on like how they make it and shit like that. I watch those a lot, and I saw how they make Swiss cheese. Mm-hmm. And it really is disgusting, the separation of the whey and the curd. The whey and the curd. It's just, ugh. And they take these big, like, cheesecloth, I guess that's what they call it that for, and separate it, and they put it in and scoop out the whey and the curd.
Yeah,
it's disgusting. Curd. Wait, even that is disgusting sounding.
Who saw the maggots eating cheese and said, let's get those off there, and said, no, let's wait till they shit it out, and then we'll spread it.
And then eat it.
On our saltines.
It all starts with some weirdo. A weirdo goes, I'm going to try that, and then all of a sudden he goes, oh my God, this tastes good, you guys.
Maggot shit cheese.
Yeah, there's no sane person is coming up with this weird shit in the food industry. Hell fucking no.
Look, see, it starts out, we're looking at a little thing on how they make it. It starts out, you got the milk there.
Yeah.
And it's just being stirred about. And then before you know it, it turns into this coagulated mess. And that's the curd.
You ever go to someone's house?
Much like turd.
You ever go to someone's house that has some nice cheeses?
No.
And they're like, hey, you want to try some cheese I got? I'm like, yeah, sure, whatever. And they pull out the cheese and there's all sorts of mold on it. And these cheese lovers, they're like, oh, let me just cut that mold off. And it's completely acceptable to just cut the mold off your cheese.
No, it's not.
And then, slice up the cheese that's still, tasty or whatever. You've never done that?
No. unless cut the mold off your cheese is a metaphor.
Yes.
You're going to cut the mold off your cheese.
It's cutting the mold off the cheese.
Do you think he wants
some cheese?
Do you think he wants to separate the whey and curd?
Sal in Jersey. Sal.
Hey, guys. Good morning.
Sal.
Good morning, Sal.
Sal. Manny.
That's probably the old bitch that made cheese for Sal.
Yeah, that's how they make the tit cheese.
I would like to know if Anthony would really be turned on or try the woman's titty milk if the woman was really, really, really hot.
See, I don't think as far as breast milk goes, that makes a difference.
No.
I really don't.
How about really young?
I don't think it makes a difference.
Real young.
I'll go back to me and Danny were the only ones
14-year-old.
that tried the breast milk ice cream, and it was rough, man. It was rough. And then if they show me a picture that Pat Duffy's sister's actually hot, it wouldn't make a damn difference.
No,
that
would
shit
not.
was gamey.
You guys are the absolute best. Love you guys. Long time, first time. Great show.
There would have to be like a trade.
Here's the mold thing. Christian in New Jersey. Christian.
When I was 15, I used to work at a factory that scraped mold off aged cheese.
Scraped mold off aged cheese.
I'm telling you, this is what they do. I think
job.
I think it's a good thing when your cheese gets moldy.
No, it's not.
I think it is, though.
I beg to differ.
I think it is. That was your job? What did you do with the mold?
They threw it away.
What did you do with the mold?
Oh, wait till you get to oh my God, Larry King today is just going to be off
Larry.
the charts.
Larry.
All right, thank you, Christian.
Fun now.
Yeah. Well, we can move from cheese to milk. We're going to try to do something with that that breast milk cheese.
It's the dairy portion of the show today.
Did you fucking hear Lindsay Lohan? That's on the front page of the paper too. She actually cried to her mommy over the that ad they ran during the Super Bowl.
What?
It was for E-Trade. It's the babies talking, and one of the babies was talking about another baby named Lindsay.
Yeah,
that's a milkaholic. And I think like stealing everyone's boyfriends or something like that.
She took it personally.
Well, she's like, who else could they be talking to about?
Well,
what a brat.
So she's suing for $100 million.
What?
She's worried about her reputation now? Are you fucking kidding me? Oh, we got the actual ad? Yeah. For reference, here you go.
So, yeah, sorry about last night.
I just don't understand why you didn't call.
Yeah, well, I was on E-Trade, diversifying my portfolio, taking control like a wolf.
Right.
What's that? That's volatility in the market. Taken care of. Wolf style.
I hate these commercials.
Yeah. And that milkaholic Lindsay wasn't over?
Lindsay?
Milka what?
That's it.
That doesn't.
And Lindsay Lohan is suing for $100 million.
That doesn't.
Worried about her
anything
reputation.
about her.
By the way, if you're worried about your reputation, what does it say about your reputation already?
Mm-hmm.
If you think a baby referencing milkaholic with your first name, the entire country means you. What does that say? You must have, if that references you, you must have a dog shit reputation already.
Yeah.
Or else how would that reference you?
Exactly.
And she's saying it's like Cher or Madonna.
That's a good point.
And their argument is, well, Cher and Madonna are not common baby names. Lindsay's a common name. Cher and Madonna are no one names a baby Madonna or Cher.
Yeah, right. That's why E-Trade could get away with it, you know? And
fuck her.
And Lindsay Lohan, all she has to do is go to TMZ and put Lindsay Lohan in the search engine, and then you'll understand.
Why, if they were goofing about you, they were.
Your reputation is shit.
Yeah, it's horrible.
How many times have they caught her, like, coming out of a club completely out of it? Showing her snatch.
Pictures of her, like, oh, is she drunk? All these.
Look, the first picture that comes out. She's in a hoodie in the passenger seat of a car, and it looks like she's completely passed out with her mouth open.
Yeah.
Yeah, that mouth open is nice.
If you've been made a spectacle out of yourself, and you've become an embarrassment, and you think your reputation is just an embarrassing one, and nobody thinks of your talent, then how about you change the way you behave in public? How about that? How about you change the way you behave in public?
Are you talking to me?
But you're not. I mean, whatever you're doing in your personal life, I mean, you're not being photographed in these states of fucking inebriation like she has over the years, right?
She's a wreck.
Lindsay Lohan is no milkaholic. And by the way, you're not going to see Cher or Madonna in these type of photos like they get of Lindsay Lohan.
Maybe Cher in the early days.
Maybe Cher. It's been so long. Who knows?
Yeah, but it was like the old Greg Allman days, and then the fucking bagel guy. Remember him?
Oh yeah, the guy
she was with the bagel guy.
I forgot his name. Yeah,
can't remember his name. But she went through a phase where she was like, the kind of joke. What is that? Is she topless in that?
That's Lindsay Lohan topless too on Perez Hilton. So really, Lindsay Lohan.
That's great.
Really? Lindsay Lohan is no milkaholic, but she does cry like a baby. Wow. They're going right after her in this article. The Mean Girl star was left sobbing uncontrollably when she saw an E-Trade ad on Super Bowl Sunday about a ditzy, boyfriend-stealing infant named Lindsay she believed was created in her likeness. Her irate mom told the yesterday. She said, "Mommy, help me. This is wrong. How can they do this?" Dina Lohan said of a tearful phone call with her 23-year-old daughter after the big game.
23 now?
Lohan had just set her peepers on an ad for E-Trade that features a pair of babies and we know okay. They're little babies doing this, mocking another child who's just trying to survive Hollywood, basically.
Gotcha.
All right, it goes on. We've made our point.
But meanwhile, didn't her father recently want to release a message or a conversation he had with her because she won't go to rehab? It's like that embarrassing family situation with the fucking father.
Where you get the whole families in the news and talking about their private lives. And
they're irritating.
Yeah, it is.
Really irritating. Now you got to pick on E-Trade because they mentioned a baby named Lindsay. Shut up.
Sue for $100 million.
What a baby.
And E-Trade's not commenting.
I think that'll be thrown right the fuck out.
And by the way, it isn't a coincidence. Let's play both sides of this. E-Trade knew exactly what they were doing.
Yeah.
Of course they were mocking Lindsay Lohan.
Prove
Come on. But there's no way they're going to be able to, prove it.
Yeah. Sure, just don't behave like a drunk. Don't make such a fucking spectacle out of yourself. If you don't want your first name to be synonymous with embarrassing behavior, then don't act that way.
Fell into the eyeglass machine and made a spectacle of herself.
It's not bad, actually. My head almost concaved in when you said that.
We're doing lens jokes.
I went to Lens Crafters recently.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
What happened?
I said, could you craft me some lenses? Let's get out of here.
Go to Greg in D.C. Greg.
Good morning, boys.
Hey, Greg.
Real quick before I get to my comment, one thing no one mentioned. Lindsay takes her 15-year-old sister clubbing and gets her little ass drunk. So
I got to just say allegedly because I haven't been there, but it seems to be correct what you're saying.
Thank you, Dan.
Yeah. But the one thing I wanted to point out is, Anthony.
What?
You won't drink breast milk, but you'll eat an asshole.
Nothing's really coming out of it at the time. I'm not going to sit there.
Your timing's off.
And unless your timing's way the fuck off. Yeah, I'm not fucking have my head upside down in the toilet bowl waiting. Take a seat.
You've got more of a chance of someone accidentally relaxing enough to possibly let a little nugget go out of their ass and out of their tit.
No.
Greg, it comes back to me. I tried the breast milk ice cream. Trust me, you'd rather eat an ass.
Oh yeah, I'm sure the breast milk ice cream tasted like ass. I would rather lick the tit.
It tasted gamey. It tasted like something that should
You're not a man. You're not a real man if you don't eat a girl's ass. What's wrong with you? You pussy.
Yes.
Go fucking go suck on a tit like everyone else.
All right, wait.
Unless you fucking tonsil deep up a girl's asshole, don't talk to me.
That's right. Tit liquor.
Hold on, Ant. No, I like what you're saying, but overnight we lost the oldest woman in New York. She was 111, and she didn't eat any junk food.
Oh yeah.
What would it take to eat her ass when she was alive?
There's nothing. There's nothing on the face of the earth.
You would have made a shitty pledge in college. You would have never been able to join a fraternity. And trust me, you're better off.
What do they call them? An independent?
You would have had to be an independent. You just don't do stuff.
How does it feel to be an independent, Schoenstein? Right. How does it feel to be an asshole, Niedermeyer?
Yeah, you would be an independent. Because sometimes you just got.
What did he say?
Sometimes you got to do it just for the goof. Jimmy, would you eat a 111-year-old woman's ass?
Sure.
Yeah, why not, right?
Out of respect for her longevity.
No, there's just been too many miles of shit that's come out of that.
You wouldn't do it for the story? Sometimes you do it for the story.
No.
I know we're older gentlemen now, but when you're younger, that's some good shit. You got a nice story to tell.
No.
While you're knocking down beers at the local pub.
Ass eating, or actually having your ass eaten, is a thing for the young. You know, the girl has to be very clean.
What's the cutoff for ass eating?
The cutoff age? I would say you're skirting things.
You're going to say
in the 30s, somewhere in there.
I think you can make it to 40.
Yeah.
Not much further. I don't.
Well,
think.
it all depends on how well things are taken care of. I'll
No,
agree
we're
with
generalizing.
I'll agree with you.
I think you can make it to 40. I think.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
There
though.
are exceptions to the rule.
Maybe some of the guys out there that are older ass eaters can help us out.
Can our older ass eating gentlemen give us a call?
We're trying to figure out what age where you got to retire from that. You know, let's think sports. I mean, if you're a 40-year-old left-hander, you're still pitching in the majors. but you can't really be a 40-year-old shortstop.
No.
So we kind of need what age where it starts going bad,
where it starts getting a little gamey,
where you're out.
Too much.
Look, I know we got the older listeners out there. They don't participate. I know there's a few of you guys in your 50s right now. Come on.
Of course.
What was the age? What was the age where it turned?
Where it turned. Oh, God.
It's kind of like wine. They say the older the wine, the better, but it does get to a point where it gets too old, right?
Well, the older the chicken.
Yeah, right.
What was that one? The older the chicken, the tastier the soup, or
something like that.
The older the chicken, the easier it is to rob in a vestibule.
Remove the hat.
Mm-hmm. Well, Birdman wants in on the Lindsay Lohan thing. Birdman.
What's happening, guys?
Hey, man.
I love eating ass, by the way, and I'm 41 years old, and I fucking love it.
Well, how old is
we're not talking
No,
about
not about
the
you.
guy.
Yeah, how old are the women?
Idiot.
Hey, fuck you, man. Don't call me an idiot. Hey, listen, fuck Lindsay Lohan.
No, wait, hold on, Birdman.
What?
It's not about how old you are.
Yeah, an 80-year-old guy can eat ass.
Right.
But now, is he going to want to eat the ass of a woman that's 80 years old?
Right.
Of course, if you're an ass eater, you're an ass eater, no?
So you're eating ass of women that are in their 40s?
Well, I'm saying, yeah, of course.
Okay, well, that's all I'm asking.
All right.
And it's still fine.
Yeah, I love it. I'd rather eat ass than pussy. That fucking Lindsay Lohan should fucking kill herself, no?
Really?
I open the paper every morning just to see if she's fucking dead.
Jesus
Christ. Fucking cunt.
Well, certainly does not like her, does he?
Well, she's Birdman, man, you're right on, man. You know what? Enough of her.
Fuck her.
She had a hell of a career ahead of her.
When's she gonna OD
fucked it
already?
all up. What?
When's she gonna OD already?
She fucked it all up. She had a great career ahead of herself.
She kind of did. She turned out to be, some people have accused her of being difficult to work with.
Right. She went bad. She had a lot of roles and she had a lot of potential, and then she just let it go to shit.
Didn't your wife's niece try to get a photo or something with her?
Yeah.
Outside she was shooting and she was rude?
Actually, it would be, not that it matters. I guess it would officially was my sister's niece, but yeah.
What is she, a Jew?
Huh?
What is she, a Jew?
Who?
Lindsay Lohan.
I guess.
Oh, I think
she was in the park. She was filming that
the Lennon Mark Chapman movie with Jared Leto.
Yeah, exactly. Outside the Dakota, and she was sitting there with a bodyguard. And my girl and my sister's niece were kind of checking out the scene, and they were walking by, and they go, "Oh my God, that's Lindsay Lohan on the park bench." And the niece there was a huge fan. Of course, she's right in the wheelhouse. She's like 14, something like that. So it's a little girl.
Yeah.
So they walk up and ask for an autograph, and she was a complete cunt. And I don't use that word. I don't use that word much on this radio show, but she was a complete cunt. And then this big ass black bodyguard. I don't know why I have to say black, but I did.
Well, that's usually the bodyguard.
Huge mass of a man.
Landscaper.
Now is muscling the two away from Lindsay Lohan. Like there's a scene going on. There was nobody around. They just happened to be walking through the park where they came across her. There were no other fans, no other people around. So she could have done it. All right, that's her decision. She chooses not to. That's fine. But then you got the big bodyguard like muscling him out of the area. Like this is going to be a problem.
I can't stand that
piece.
I can't stand her. She just turns my stomach.
What did she say anything, or did she just ignore the request?
I wasn't there. I think if I remember correctly, because we haven't talked about this in a while, I think there was a complete. She didn't even acknowledge that they were like human beings standing there. I believe that's how it went down.
I remember when she was in studio.
We met her once. Huh?
And got pictures taken. She was very aloof. No way.
She looked awful, too. That's probably why.
Now.
She looked awful.
Never. Yeah,
she wishes she looked like she did when we met her. She's gotten a lot worse since that day.
She's skeevy, man.
She's all right. I mean,
no, some skank is good.
She's just annoying.
Yeah, I like skanky bitches too, but that's like two skeevy, AIDS-looking,
all right, so you're
heroin addicts.
I know that's kind of good.
Yeah, she's.
I know you like you fucking sick
heroin chic.
Birdman.
I like heroin chic. I like fucking like dead goth girl
crack
look.
whore.
I like crack whore. Yeah,
your
shit like
asshole.
that. Yeah, exactly.
Birdman is responding too harshly to her. I can't read the paper every day, hoping her clit's been cut off in a lawnmower accident. She's just an annoying broad. I don't want her dead.
You know what? She's got amazing bosoms still.
Yeah, she has nice tits.
Well, let's all just calm.
I fucked her. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, all right. Let's all calm the fuck down. I mean, she's.
Hold on now.
No one doubted it. I got a heart on now.
All right, Birdman, get the fuck out of here.
Suicide girl.
I got a heart on.
All right, and we're gonna get an answer to our question.
Are we?
Oh, okay. Well, here you go. Let's go to John in Columbus. John.
Hey, John.
Morning, boys. Love you, love the show.
All right, John. We're trying to figure out what the cutoff is for ass eating as far as women go.
Well, my old lady's 55, and she still has an ass like a 20-year-old girl.
Right.
But the cutoff for me was when she started having kids and started popping hemorrhoids out. There ain't no fucking
Can you
way.
never call the show again?
I still use it for a chin rest, but that's it.
So, I mean, but you made it into you made it where she was in her 50s.
Well, no, when she started having kids.
Oh, I'm sorry.
40s,
All right, 40s.
And the roid started, and you'll learn that firsthand here shortly.
Well, I'm really thrilled that you're sharing that info today, sir. Thank you very much.
Roids.
You never want roids on your broad's asshole.
No. Let's go to Tom in Jersey. Tom.
Hey, guys. How are you this morning?
Welcome aboard, Tommy.
Yeah, both my wife and I are 50, and my wife looks like she's about 35, and I still eat the bunghole. I mean, there's a lot of sensitive nerve ending there. I would probably go a few more years as long as everything's tight and looks great.
Wow.
So he passed the 50 mark.
Wow, I'm learning something today.
He passed the 50 mark, and he's still lapping ass. And she's okay.
And she's lapping his ass.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, see, there's the issue. Therein lies the issue.
You guys are freaks, Tom.
Oh, you know, we're the Jersey guys. We're friends with Big Steve there.
You know, a woman's ass does have a longer shelf life than a guy's ass.
Yes.
For eating. That is definitely for the young.
What doesn't have a longer shelf life than a guy's asshole when it comes to eating? So does milk in fucking Saudi Arabia.
I'm saying that a woman,
I don't know what,
eating a guy's ass that is like,
I don't know
cracking 50.
I don't know what's wrong with women that they want to eat fucking guys' asses, by the way.
Well, thanks,
I don't
guys.
know.
Keep
Do
up
they
the good
want
work.
to?
I know what the
Do they want to?
I know what the fuck's going on with mine. Get the fuck out of here.
Or are they just trying to please their man?
I don't know.
Like, I know anytime I dip down into the undercarriage of a fine lady there, I'm doing it to make her feel good and because I enjoy doing it.
Yep.
God damn it. I like having my head down there. That's wonderful. But, I think a woman, for the most part, is doing it because she feels obligated.
I will say that I've had arguments with girls over it.
Have you?
Yeah.
Yelling and screaming. Eat my ass!
Yes. Pointing, accusing. I'll bet if there was turnip soup in there, you'd eat it. I'm never a good convincer when I'm angry.
Yeah, that isn't turning her around.
I don't know how to convince somebody.
Why?
I'll bet if there was chocolate lava shooting out of there, like just meaning good chocolate, but I don't realize the picture I'm painting. But I had an argument with a girl one time about that. I'm like, you don't eat my ass. I'm like, you want me to eat yours? I'm like, mine is clean.
Oh, fuck, Danny.
You were arguing over it?
Fuck yes. Because my ass is immaculate.
It's not worth arguing over.
My ass is, so you want me to eat your ass? I'll eat mine.
Oh, my
I'll fucking, my ass is not swamping your ass.
You can't do tit for tat with ass
I
eating.
can, and I did, and I won.
Nah, I'm not.
No, it's not a bargaring chip.
Sure
you can't
is.
bargain.
I'll sit right on her face, lick.
No.
Any broad.
I think I would respect her because she doesn't do that. Because I just like what I'd be like, what the fuck is wrong with you, man?
Don't go past the bottom of the sack.
I've shit
That's
out
my rules.
I've shit out steak bones before.
Oh,
Get the hell out of here! I'm not.
Just keep your ass clean. Just do it after a shower.
No, believe me, impeccably clean. I'm not dirty, believe me. But there's just something I can't. No. I will fucking spend a while down there, just tongue in ass. But for a girl, I'd rather she keep. The taint is the fence that has "This is a minefield" written on it. Just kind of. Don't tread.
I will get on my hands and knees on my bed, and I'll prop myself up with my elbows, and I'll actually take each middle finger and teetle my nipples while my asshole's being licked.
Teetle, leedle, leedle.
Yeah, like this. I'll just fucking flick my nipples while I'm getting my ass licked.
You know what, Jimmy? God bless you.
See that?
God bless you. All right, let's get back to this, Dan, because we got more ass eaters calling in.
Oh, we love hearing from our ass-eating audience.
Is this Cell Medic that I follow on Twitter?
Hey, this is So Medic. How you doing, Oak?
Hey, what?
Birthday, Jimmy.
Hey, are you one of the boys? Did you get injured overseas?
Yes.
What happened to you, brother?
Well, they tried to aim a rocket, and they were off by 20 feet.
Oof, good thing.
And what injuries did you...
Unless you were 20 feet off of where you were supposed to be.
What injuries did you get, Sal?
TBI, PTSD, and then I've got injuries to my knees.
God damn it. Well, God bless you, my friend. And I don't even believe in God, but I'll say that.
What was it, RPG?
No, Katusha rocket.
Oh.
Wow, wait.
Yeah, that's a little bigger, right?
Yeah, it took out 3, what we call Jews, but back here in the States, we call them double wides. Double wide trailers.
Yeah, those are big.
Wow. Cell Medic, you're still eating ass.
Yeah. Oh, hell yeah.
And she's 51?
Yeah, speak up.
Yes, yes. I am.
Oh, there she is. Are you guys?
There she is.
Are you
There's
eating
the
her
ass.
Are you eating her ass right now?
No, I'm driving him to work.
Ah, so you're 51 and he still goes down there and licks out your butthole.
Yes.
Do you have kids?
Yes, we have a almost 13-year-old and an 8-year-old.
Ah. Did you get roids or no?
No.
Wow, okay.
No,
there
they
you
would
go.
be off limits.
Yeah.
And Cell Medic, you have, and it's still good, huh?
Oh, yeah, it's like a 20-year-old.
Oh,
Wait, does she eat your ass?
What is this about, Aaron?
Oh, hell no. I got
There
a
you go.
tattoo of a snake and "Don't Tread on Me" tattooed right on my taint. It's like, don't go past there.
See? He knows.
He does know, man.
That's terrible on a guy. We're getting some instant feedback here that if she goes back there, you can make a movie, The Squirt Locker. You don't want to do that.
A pack of shit now.
All right, there you go, Cell Medic. Thank you, brother.
Well, bye. Punch it out, guys.
All right, good job, man.
I know. Poop tune. No, that's not even funny. Poop is funny,
It's
though.
cute.
It's cute. That was a cute one.
Daryl in Kentucky. Daryl!
Hello, boys.
What's up?
Hello.
Well, I'm telling you, I'm 53 years old. My wife's 50. And she asked me probably a week ago to check for her. She thought she might have a hemorrhoid.
Oh,
and I hadn't been around her for a while. And it's still pink and round and beautiful, and I just pour into it.
Yeah, I just
Now you were just checking for a roid.
See, how does it?
I think she did it just to have me back there, to tell you the truth.
How the fuck does it go from checking for a roid and then you jump right in?
He loves his
Dude,
girl.
I'm a butt man.
Oh, what?
You know,
would he consider himself an ass man?
Do I?
I wonder if he would consider himself
what are you getting
an ass man.
What are you
I'm
getting
just
at?
wondering because a lot of it seems like this guy, if he's just checking for a hemorrhoid, right, and he's looking into her ass, and he can't resist, like that switch flips, and he's got to tongue it.
Yeah.
I'd say he's an ass man.
I'm an ass man.
Yeah!
Yeah.
Come on, here it is.
Yeah, I'm an ass man.
Oh, yeah. Okay,
That's right. That's right.
Now, what would dictate being an ass man? Let's listen. Do ya?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh,
stick 'em. What's that about?
Yeah. Yes, do ya? Now, why? Yeah! Of course you are. God, you gotta love the Ass Man song.
It doesn't ever go bad.
Oh, they just gotta bring him back.
Get up there.
Yeah.
All right, Daryl. There you go. You know, it's not often that I truly learn something on this radio show. Usually, in general, I don't. You know, you kind of know a lot of this stuff. I would have said that after 40, forget about it.
There's a cutoff point.
There's a bunch of other guys on the line saying, "No, man, we're in our 50s, and I'm still eating my wife's ass."
But now
there's still a lot of calls that we could get to.
Here's the loophole.
Yeah.
Or bunghole. These are married guys. These are married guys, so they really can't go anywhere else to eat ass. And if they enjoy eating ass, you know, they're going to dig in regardless.
Yeah, but the excitement on their voices, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it doesn't sound like something they're just doing.
It didn't sound like it was a drop-off in their voices.
I hear you.
I mean, I agree, you know, a young clam tastes a hell of a lot better than a
clam,
an older one.
Than one of the ones where the shell's kind of opening up and you got that
falling off the sides, and there's discoloration in that clam.
Looks like it should be saying, "Feed me." You don't want that.
Ah, fuck. All right, listen, why don't we take a break? Because we got a busy show. We got, I can't believe this is happening today, and I'm very happy. Louis C.K. finally coming back to the show. Ooh. It's been a real long time.
With his orangutan ass.
What?
But it's all red.
Jim Florentine will be by. He knows a thing or two about ass eating, I would assume.
Jim's big on. I'm going to say this for the record. I don't know what Louis does, but Florentine is a confirmed and bona fide asshole licker.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Now, what about getting his asshole licked?
Jim will tell you. But I'm going to say, for the record, Florentine lives and breathes to have his asshole licked.
Okay. We'll have to ask Jim about that. And also, our old friend Bret Michaels is coming by. He's becoming a big star.
Now, I wonder what kind of action he has gotten.
See,
if he's gotten his asshole licked, and if he likes licking asshole.
We're in a transitional period with Bret Michaels. He used to come in and do the whole show. Now he's doing like 15 minutes. You see what's going on here? He's on the Celebrity Apprentice. He's throwing us a bone. He's giving us about 15 minutes today.
I see.
And then next time he will have to decline the invitation to come on the Opie and Anthony show. I hope that's not true. Hey, and more of your phone calls, I guess, because a lot of guys want to brag that they're still eating their wife's asses.
Oh, of course.
It's probably the wife's going, "You fucking call that goddamn show and you tell him
that my ass is lickable." Right.
It sounded like Cell Medic was being held hostage there.
Oh, I know, didn't it?
I was trying to be nice, but
poor guy's gone through all that.
Right.
Where did he get the post-traumatic stress disorder, by the way? He said he had it. Is it from,
looking into his wife's asshole?
From that missile, or,
He's trying to re-enlist, so he doesn't have to eat his wife's ass anymore. Like the Hurt Locker, he has to go back.
Yeah, exactly. He's got to go back to the asshole and start licking.
All right, and when we get back, we gotta talk about Larry King. Larry King had Eric Massa. How do you say his last name?
I think it's Massa.
Which is funny. I think that's why Obama wanted him out.
Yeah. Massa, get in here. Wait a second. Can we call you Eric?
I think I like your name, sir.
I'm out on this story. You guys know all the details?
Oh, absolutely.
All right,
some of them. I don't know all of them.
Oh, he's a nasty potty mouth.
Well,
I
suddenly like
making
him.
some accusations.
The Larry King audio is hilarious because Larry was obsessed about finding out if this guy groped anyone over and over again. And also, we didn't get Jesse Ventura on our show yesterday.
I wonder why.
But he was on everybody everyone else's show here at Sirius XM. I mean, everyone got to talk to him except for us.
I saw him when I left the studio.
He's a little crybaby for not.
Oh no,
coming
we
on our
missed
show.
the big interview.
Yeah,
Gives a shit.
How about you come in here and confront us if you're a big tough guy?
Exactly.
I want positive press.
And the only reason I say that is because he was talking about Jimmy on every other show. I got 3 examples of other shows that had Jesse on that were talking about Jimmy.
Well, Jimmy was right here. You could have come in and fucking talked to him.
And I actually really haven't badmouthed him since that. Like on DJ Shea, because they called in. They said, look, Jesse's called. I've called a few shows they've called, and I haven't trashed him.
You're hysterical. That's like saying, look, we only bombed the Japs twice.
But I mean, like, I would rather badmouth him for real.
Yeah.
Like if he was here and we were arguing. I kind of weird. It's like even Maxwell, when he got fired in Cleveland and they asked me about it, he's not there to argue back. So it's like I'd prefer to do it when a guy's here.
We knew in the end Maxwell would get fired. We always knew that.
Jesse could have come in.
We always knew that he was not long for this business, that jack off.
But you know what I'm saying?
Off.
You know what I mean? It's like he could have come in. He was in the building.
Yeah, so Jesse did everyone else's show. We got the audio as they asked about Norton. So
I'm sure it's riveting audio.
Holy shit. We got so much to do. So let's take a quick break, and we'll get into some other stuff after the break. Yeah, let's do this. Louis C.K. coming in about 15, 20 minutes. Jim Florentine, 8:30. And then Brett Michaels at 10:15. Of course, the star of Celebrity Apprentice. I hear he wins the whole thing, so maybe he'll tell us that today.
I guess we only have him for 15 minutes.
Yeah. We got 2 great things that we got to squeeze in before Louis C.K. At least one of these.
Yeah.
You got Jesse Ventura, who stopped by yesterday to do everyone's radio show except ours here at Sirius XM.
No, that's our punishment for confronting him and being nasty when he was nasty, or my punishment.
Yeah. For questioning his conspiracy theories.
And he didn't like the personal nasty insults, but who gives a fuck?
Didn't.
And we have a much bigger audience than all the shows he did, except for Howard. I'm not going to fucking front here. But the rest of these shows he did, there's no real audience. No offense to these guys. They're building an audience every day. But we have a huge audience, and he avoided us.
Yeah. I'm here on the Broadway channel. Are you? What the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
You know what?
In between show tunes, he's telling fucking conspiracy theories.
You're not too far off.
I know.
Maybe E-Rock or somebody down the hall could give me a list of all the shows Jesse did.
Shows Jesse did.
Except for ours. We got two shows with audio that, they have a nice audience. But then there are a bunch of other shows I truly have nobody listening. Nobody. And also we got the Eric Massa thing. So which one you want to do? I need your help here.
I gotta hear Jesse.
All right, we got to go with Jesse?
Yeah.
All right.
Let's go with the Jesse Larry King.
And by the way, after the show yesterday, Jesse was outside smoking a cigar.
Yeah.
And me and Aunt walked out separately. You saw him. I didn't know you saw him.
Yeah.
And then I walked out and I had my HD flip and I saw him. So I just kind of followed him down the sidewalk. And everyone's like giving me shit. I was just trying to make a dumb, silly, dopey video. I didn't feel like confronting Jesse Ventura.
What you did?
Everyone's like, why didn't you confront him? Like, because I don't care enough to confront him why he wasn't on our show. First of all, it wasn't my fight. It was Jimmy's fight.
You could have had the flip in front of your face and your hat on. He wouldn't know who the fuck you are.
That's what I was thinking.
And just be going like, hey, Jesse.
Yeah.
How you doing?
Well,
shut up. I'm looking for conspiracies.
Well, I was surprised that I even saw him on the sidewalk. And then I'll be honest, I didn't really know what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
I had the HD flip. I turned it on to try to do something. And then I wasn't even going to post the video, and I did it anyway because it was like, hey, this is kind of weird that all of a sudden I would just run into the guy outside the studio. So
yeah, I saw him
But
talking
for the people,
I
I wanted to make something silly and dopey, not go for some big over-the-top confrontation with Jesse Ventura on the streets of New York.
Could have asked him, though, without being nasty. Jesse, why didn't you come on? We could have worked this out.
I guess I could have.
And he could have punched you in the face on the street.
Nah, he wouldn't have.
I don't think he would have either.
You never know.
But that was
you just asked him? Nah.
But
I wouldn't be worried about seeing him at all.
Yeah.
But that was my intention. I was like, A, I didn't know what to do, and B, I was more trying to do something silly. But with that said, Jesse did Cavino and Rich, and God bless these guys. They asked about the confrontation between
I like those
Jesse Ventura and Jim Norton.
They're on Stars. They do afternoons on Stars. It's a good show.
Well, I remember last time you were here, I remember you were down the hallway with the Opie and Anthony show, and you got in a fight with Jim Norton, and that became like a big YouTube thing.
They're all dead? Right. You're sure of that?
Yes.
Were the bodies identified?
No, but that's taking that argument.
Well, we'll just fly with that. What the hell? My government told me that, so you know why I don't believe my government?
Well, you believe Saudi Arabia's government?
No.
Over there
And I remember you getting a big fight with Jimmy Norton. Then you gave him a pat on the way out, and he got all fired up, and you guys were fighting.
No. He said something personal, derogatory, and very insulting to me.
What did he say? I didn't hear.
I don't even remember because he's such a.
God, you can't say that.
He can't. He does remember. You really fucking hit a nerve with him.
That
No, but
riffraff
Jimmy
line
was after everything when he was in the hallway.
Exactly.
So Jimmy didn't say anything while he was still in front of a microphone that was personal and insulting.
The only personal insult, and I never would have insulted him like that. That bugs me because that's just not honest.
That's not true.
Isn't honest.
Was that when he touched me?
Yes.
We were going back and forth. He called me an asshole. I called him an asshole. It was two guys just arguing.
Mm-hmm.
When he touched me, I've said this a million times. That's what bothered me because then the only way for me to come back at him, I'm not going to get into.
You can't physically intimidate.
Dude, I'm not an idiot. I'm not going to get up and pat him angrily.
Yes.
Because then that's taking it to a level like, what am I, fucking suicidal? So I did what I do. I insulted him. That was the only way to come back without looking like a complete bitch and a pussy was just to insult the guy. What was I going to do?
You know, I didn't realize until I just heard him say that how that affected him. You fucked him up with that line, man.
And I saw it on his face. He wanted to. That really got to him.
It really did.
But again, if he hadn't touched me, if he hadn't sarcastically slapped me on the back, I never would have said that to him.
Did.
Ever.
He did touch you.
Really annoyed him.
Dude, I never would have said that to him.
Thank you, Danny, for pulling
What
up
a great
every
reference.
riffraff picture.
What a great reference.
It is so good. You killed him with
If we're
that line.
look, if you want to, if we're arguing about points and we're disagreeing and we're insulting each other, it's not very nice. And you want to use what you'd got, well, then I'll use what I got.
He has physical intimidation and strength and the ability to squish you like a little grape.
Which he could do.
And you have the ability to fucking say something that fucking personally insulted and hurt him.
He'll never be able to hurt my feelings, but he could throw me through a wall.
I have done far worse than kill you, Jesse. I hurt you. And I'll continue to hurt you.
Let's get back to the audio.
What did he say?
I don't even remember because he's such a. He don't mean nothing to me. And all I did was turn around and I looked at him, and you know what went through my mind?
What?
I thought, you're lucky, boy, that I'm civilized today. Because I said, if you would have spoken to me like that when I was a Navy SEAL, I'd have cut your balls off and shoved them down your throat.
Jimmy didn't have balls back then.
Exactly.
They hadn't dropped yet.
I was just a wee lad.
He was a little kid. What are you going to do? Throw him down the stairs with Kiss?
So what he wants to be able to do is he wants to be able to call me.
Helen would have kicked his ass.
Yeah, Helen would have fucking really stuck up in her beehive. She would have beaten Jesse with her beehive.
Am I the only one that thinks Jesse Ventura rocks, though?
Why? If he just said that when I was a Navy SEAL, I think you got to worry about the VC that are coming after you.
He rocks because he's such a character.
Yeah,
he really is a fucking character.
I would have respected him. I would have thought he rocked if he came in and we had it out or just talked about it. I wouldn't have to argue with him again. I'm very reasonable.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you. I mean,
don't fucking do that to me and then bitch when I insult you. Stop.
Oh, you fucking nailed
Stop
him.
it.
I got another 10 clips. I don't know how many of these we're going to play.
Wow, all
but
of
everybody was asking about the confrontation he had with Jim Norton on our show.
I want to hear every one of those clips.
It continues on the Covino and Rich show, Stars. They were on another channel. What happened?
Well, Maxim was discontinued, but those guys are very good, so they didn't want to lose them, so they put them on. They put a bunch of shows that they liked on Stars, I think, when they got rid of a couple of channels after the merger.
What is Stars? Is that like a talk station channel?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah?
They have some good shows.
I have no idea what this place does. Jesus Christ. I know this channel and Lithium.
I know this one in the Boneyard.
That's pretty much it. Yeah. Although, okay.
Try Classic Rewind.
I'll occasionally go to Hair Nation. And Alt Nation.
Yeah.
That's really where I draw the line. And maybe like the 80s channel for just some nostalgia.
Yeah.
So I could think back and go, oh, I remember that.
Wait, is this the Covino that does the show
Yes,
with
of course.
Nicole?
He does double duty.
What the hell are they doing around here? How many shows do these people have to do?
He comes in the morning.
How many shows?
How afraid of being fired is he? I love this guy. Could you do overnights too? Sure, I'll just put up a tent.
I'm on it.
He does mornings here on the mashup, and then he fucking, I guess, does some prep or I don't comprehend. And then he just does the afternoons, Covino Rich.
Wait, he works more than 4 hours a day?
Dude, he works like 12 hours a day. He's an animal.
What the hell's wrong with him? He must be young.
No wonder we never see him in the elevator.
Yeah, he's always here.
While we're fleeing the building.
Yeah.
That's what we do. We don't leave, we flee.
He'll fucking survive. No matter what happens to this shithole, he's like roaches. Nothing is stopping fucking Covino.
Well, Covino, man, God bless Covino and Rich. They had balls. It continued.
Yeah. There's conspiracy there, Rich, because we had Jimmy Norton on our show that day.
Hold on, here's a Jimmy Norton
he felt
thing.
like you chumped him, like you pulled the alpha male card on him when you made contact with him.
Hold on, here's what he said.
It really was a sarcastic pat on the back, but I didn't like it because we were two guys who were angry at each other, and we were genuinely mad at each other, and he still, because he's a big guy, felt comfortable pulling some alpha male shit like that. Like, I knew what he was. I don't like being fucking touched
Nah, that's
when I'm
fucked
angry.
up.
Because let me tell you, if him and Chuck Liddell were arguing, I'm not saying he wouldn't argue with Liddell. Of course he would. But he wouldn't go over and touch him like that on the way out because he knows he'd get fucking punched in the mouth.
Is that true?
Bull crap. I sure would, because all I did was I gave him a pat like, hey, that was a pretty good argument we just had.
Oh, my God.
No, you didn't, Jesse.
He took it the wrong way.
I got stopped.
No, you didn't.
No, that was an aggressive move.
As an observer.
That he did because he knew that was what he had to try to intimidate you with.
And it was that he's just not being, maybe he remembers it that way, but I don't think he's being honest. Because he goes, if he said, hey, look, man, it was fun arguing with you and did that, but he goes, thanks for your service to your country.
Yeah.
Like, I knew what that was. He was angry at me at that point because we weren't being, he's just not, I'm not going to say he's lying because maybe he's told himself that, but that's not what happened. I never would have insulted him if he was being friendly.
It's just a jump to the left and then a step to the right. Put your hands on your hip, right?
But I never would have.
But he took it the wrong. He took it like you were.
Yeah, he took it that I was being condescending. I can tell him without a doubt I did the same thing. I'd do it to Muhammad Ali. I'd do it to anybody else, too. It was not meant as anything derogatory. I know how I did it. All I did was give him a little pat on the shoulder as I went out and, kind of like, well, we'll maybe see you next time. See, he was going after me because what's better for him? You think he's going to get an ounce of publicity if I wasn't the other equation?
Well, how
he
does
was
Ventura
doing that
handle it?
Simply just to get his own publicity at my expense.
Oh, my God.
It's just, honestly, dude, it's just not the truth.
Yeah, Jimmy's doing Leno. I mean, he's doing just fine.
Dude,
man.
let me tell you something.
Holy
I don't care about a YouTube video that got 500,000 hits. I don't care. One appearance on fucking Red Eye is the same amount of people. One appearance on Leno, even when the show wasn't doing well, is fucking 6 times that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I don't care about a YouTube video.
What I love is that the gang here at Sirius XM, Jesse was trying to avoid us at all costs yesterday.
Wanted no part of it.
And it's great that these other shows were like, fuck that.
Calling him out.
Fuck that. We want to talk about, that big confrontation I had with Jim Norton. He should have came in here.
It really was. That's look, what's he gonna say? But to think it's for publicity, it's like, come on, dude.
Well,
that's just not honest.
He did, yesterday, some of the shows he did, Covino and Rich, Alex Bennett, Mad Dog, POTUS, Howard, and Blubba.
Did POTUS?
And he's also doing The View today. So maybe
see? Shut up.
So maybe he'll be asked some tough questions on The View today.
The View.
Well, it continued on Covino and Rich.
How does Jesse Ventura handle stuff like this? I mean, when you come at people with conspiracies, 9/11 conspiracies, Federal Reserve, 2012
I'm
aliens.
guessing Jimmy Norton's not the only guy that's ever got mad or fought with you about a 9/11 thing.
Yeah, but he's the only one that's made it personal and insulted me personally. You can disagree with me all you want. You can say, Jesse, you're full of it. This is nothing. This is baloney. How can you believe it? But when they take it beyond that and they make a personal insult to you, that's a whole nother ballgame. Wow. Just like in the world of politics. You can disagree with another elected official. You can disagree on policy all you want, but you don't make it personal.
Ooh, well,
Can you pause that for a second? Because he's saying
this is not
exactly the opposite of what happened.
Yes.
He called me an asshole first.
Yeah.
Before I called him an asshole, he called me an asshole.
Yeah.
We were arguing I wasn't making it personal. I didn't agree with his point of view. We were going back and forth, and then he goes something, asshole, and then I said something, asshole.
Very personal. And he's taking this very personal.
He called me an asshole first. He called me something else first.
Asshole! But he's talking about the riffraff line. That really got to him, and he's confusing the whole thing. That was pretty much the last thing you said to him as he was in the hallway.
Pardon my French, but you're an asshole.
But he insulted me first. I would never have insulted him personally if he had not insulted me first.
He's basically saying you did the riffraff thing on the air when he was in front of a microphone, and that led to him walking out. That was the last thing, and that's the thing that still bothers him to this day.
Last thing that was said.
Yes.
Yeah, and then he looked at you glaringly like he wanted to rip your head off.
But why doesn't he mention the fact that he started making it personal?
It's not. Because that makes him look silly.
And we have audio of that. That's what annoys me. So anybody out there, any of the Jesse fans out there, I've got
the audio's out there. It's everywhere.
Just listen to it.
It's everywhere.
I don't care if you fucking truthers don't like. I don't care. Your angst and your anger and your rage are meaningless.
Gatekeeper.
Just don't make it personal.
Ooh, well, what's crossing the line for Jesse Ventura? What was it? I know he said something about your hairdo. What was it? What really pissed
I
you
don't
off?
even remember.
Balls.
Again, he's such a nothing to me. Why would I dwell on him? The minute I left that room, he was old news. I don't even. Today, you just told me his name. I don't even know his name.
And if you saw him today,
I'd still recognize him because I've done the show 2 or 3 times.
No, but would you snarl at him? Would you intimidate the guy, or would you just give him a high five?
I would simply ignore him.
Would you?
Simply.
But the bottom line is this:
who did you fucking get?
If I know
I'm stunned at how badly you got it. I thought he was very pissed right then and there at you saying that, and then he probably did just walk it off. But let me tell you, that fucking is sticking with him.
Let me tell you what that was, and that what happened between me and Jesse Ventura is how you become a funny guy in high school. And this is why jocks leave you alone. Because it's like they can beat the all day long. He could throw me through a wall. No matter how sick he was, if he had brain cancer, I could never best him physically.
No.
And I would never try to.
Nope.
But guys like that never want to be embarrassed by what they would consider a little pipsqueak. And accurately so.
Yeah. You're right. The jock can punch you in the face. That'll fucking go away in a while.
You can embarrass him.
That shit sticks in their head forever.
And here's another question about what he's saying, the honesty of it. If you forgot right about it, why would you turn down a show with an audience the size that this show has?
Yeah, you forgot it.
This show has a massive audience. Yeah. So why would you turn down promoting whatever it is you're promoting? Don't be dishonest. Just say, look, we were arguing. I got a little personal. He got personal back. I alpha mailed him a little bit. He insulted me, and I didn't like. Just tell the truth, man, about what happened.
Talk it out on the air.
Yeah.
I think to break it down, I think he blew off our show because he can't hang intellectually. I really believe that. He didn't have answers to a lot of the questions we were throwing at him that day.
Can I correct myself?
Yes.
I've made an ass of myself. It's Rich Davis, not Covino, who's on the morning mashup. So sorry, Rich. I was saying Covino was on the mashup, and it's actually Rich Davis.
Yeah, I get confused by that whole thing.
I know.
It's the guy that walks by every day with Nicole, right?
I don't know who's Rich and who's Covino. They're hot and they're sexy.
We're too busy looking at Nicole's ass as she walks by every day. So
really, who could be bothered with the guys' names?
Right.
The fuck knows who they are?
But that was great that they asked him about it and they got it out. Good
I like
them,
the balls
man.
on this kid.
Yeah, that is a set of balls.
I hear balls on this kid.
Because he ain't stopping. Jesse's getting pissed even talking about it, and he's just pounding away at it.
He wanted to get to the bottom of some of that shit. And then Jesse moved on to Pete Dominic's show. We've had Pete on our show.
I like Pete. He's a good comic. He's a buddy.
Pete does a very good radio show.
Yes.
It's politics, man. But he's strong. He's on POTUS.
He's very
3 to 6
liberal
every
guy.
day.
3 to 6, right? Very, very liberal guy. But he makes rational arguments. I mean, he's not a dumb guy. He's a smart dude.
Dude, that can't happen.
What?
Very liberal guy making rational comments.
Oh yes, they can.
I've never seen it
because the liberal snake, like Bobby Fischer, the Jew is like a snake. Jesus, Bobby, would you just fucking
let it go, Bobby?
Just fucking King Castle side, would you? Fucking please, just.
And here we go.
Jesus, just.
Check out Jesse Ventura, his new book, American Conspiracies. I always love having you in here, man. It's really.
I like doing your show too, Pete.
It's a lot of fun having you.
And you know what else? You don't run and cry if I leave and tap you on the shoulder.
I would appreciate it if you'd punch me in the face, actually, as hard as you can.
You don't run and cry like a baby and whine and, jeez, he touched me.
Oh, you're talking about Jim Norton.
Oh, no.
Oh, wow. I thought you forgot about the incident. You keep bringing it up.
And by the way, first of all, and I didn't run and cry.
You sat in that seat.
I insulted
exactly
you,
where it
stupid.
happened.
I insulted you.
And who ran and cried? He didn't do our show. That's running.
Jesus Christ.
He was in the building at the time we were broadcasting.
He left.
Because we saw him on the street when we were finished.
Jimmy was exactly where he was when he made the comment, never moved, sat in his seat, and Jesse left.
He left.
So who ran and cried?
He said he was done.
Cry. I insulted you.
He said he was done.
You actually got a former governor to go,
Dude, that comment
shit.
really fucked him up.
Fucking killed him.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Like I said before, to this day, I didn't understand how fucking much that got to him.
You know, I know this audio has been played a million times, but could we, unfortunately, we turned the camera on just before he got up.
Yeah, I wish we had that whole 20-minute lead up.
Let's.
You say something. To me. You did it to me. You said I don't believe in the Constitution.
Bye, guys.
Bye, Jess. See?
Governor.
You always just sulk and walk away. Why?
No,
you put words in my mouth.
Hey, there's a fucking guy here telling me I got a schedule, asshole.
You're using dirty language, asshole.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
Oh.
Drinks the water dramatically. Puts the bottle down.
Bye, tough guy.
And thanks for your service to our country.
You're welcome. Thanks for touching me with your fucking stupid riff-raff and fucking Rocky Horror hairdo. You're bigger than me and stronger than me. So what? I don't give a shit. You're gonna beat me up? Go ahead. I'm not gonna fight a guy like you. That means nothing to me. I argued with you. You put words in my mouth, and you didn't like when I did it to you. You put words in my mouth saying I didn't believe in the Constitution, and that's bullshit. It's not true. I don't agree with abusing it.
Thank you for your service.
Oh, you're welcome. You're a bigger patriot than me. Godspeed. Fuck out of here.
Wow. Get the camera outside. And then we followed him with the camera.
Do you see?
Yeah.
He called me an asshole.
Wow.
I called him an asshole. He said tough guy. Because, again, I'm a tough guy if I insult a guy of his size back. So I fucking hate guys like that because they want to insult you, and then you're supposed to go, oh, okay. Don't try to be an intellectual if you just want to be a big, dumb jock bruiser. Just be that.
And that pat was a little more than just a touch on the shoulder.
We all know what it was.
That first one was a pat, and the second one was a good smack he gave you.
And again, I didn't feel like he was going to hurt me. I'm not going to lie and say I felt threatened. I didn't feel threatened, but the intent of it, the message behind it, annoyed me. I didn't cry like a baby. I insulted you.
No.
You were acting like you insulted me, I insulted you. You were the fucking baby.
Your cadence and tone, though, were so planes, trains, and automobiles.
I know.
John Candy?
Yeah.
Dude, it was so John Candy.
I knew what he was thinking at that moment.
I know. Well, I'm just a little guy here. You fucking.
Because I knew it was going. I know it was going through his mind. Don't just stare. We both know what you're thinking, so just say it.
You just did not fucking stop. That was good.
Can I point out something important?
No, I think that's impossible. But go ahead.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes you do it accidentally when you're pointing out things that aren't important. We're like, no, the wrong category.
Look, a pinwheel. It's not important, Kenny.
He had nowhere to go. When he says in the video, I got a guy here telling me I got to go, I got a schedule, I thought I was standing right there. Yeah.
It was just Kenny was out in the hallway.
Yeah, he came with a broad publicist. There was no guy with them.
And
he was stealth.
If you get the audio of the whole show, it's out there. He admits, I don't know, but before the whole confrontation that he has nowhere to go and he could hang out longer. And then all of a sudden he had somewhere to go because it got a little hot in here.
And he kept pushing the microphone away. And he did that at K-Rock one time. He doesn't like when you argue with him. So he's not being straight when he says that.
Right.
No, he's not.
So that's what happened. That's the end. Unfortunately, the audio we don't have right now, you don't hear the 20-minute lead up, which people who heard the show heard.
And it proves he's still bothered by this whole thing because he brings it up on Pete Dominic's show.
Yeah.
Pete's like, oh, you're talking about Jim Norton. Like, he was going to let him go without even discussing it.
Sure, but I didn't cry. Let's be that's what happened. happen.
Yeah.
And you're right, it was planes, trains, and automobiles.
Oh, it was so much.
But it was almost like in that moment, it wasn't like, I'm going to stand up and let's fight you. It was like, I know what you're thinking, and it annoyed me that he was thinking that.
You pointed it out to him, too.
It annoyed me.
I think he felt like, this guy's completely onto me. He felt like naked standing there because you completely pointed out what he was thinking, what he was about. He couldn't trick you into trying to think something else. And then you dealt him a knockout blow with that fucking line, dude.
Yeah.
That affected him and still does
to this day.
I am amazed how badly you fucked him up with that line.
But you're right, I was a planes, trains, and automobiles ass.
Look,
I really should have a Doug Griffin wig.
I know.
It's one of my favorite scenes, man.
Go
ahead, hurt me if you have to.
It had the same cadence.
You're right.
How many easy targets?
I know. That's why it was so fun. Could we just?
But let me tell you something.
I want to hear that part again.
I like me.
In that
my
context.
wife likes me. My friends like. No, my customers like me.
My customers, my customers.
I'm the genuine oracle.
Where's the Jimmy Norton line? Because I got to hear that again. I just got to hear that one again.
Let's get to the end of this this one clip here from Pete Dominic's show. No, he wants the
I wanted the Jimmy Norton line. I wanted the Jimmy Norton line again.
And then we'll play the planes, trains. We got that on disc. E-Rock, run it down here, please. Because we play it all the time.
E-Rock, run.
We'll play the Jimmy thing, and then we'll play the planes, trains.
E-Rock runs like the blob in a bowling alley.
Had enough quakes this month.
He's queuing that up. Let me play the rest of this clip here from Pete Dominic's show.
You don't run and cry like a baby and whine and...
Oh, you're talking about Jim Norton.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. Did you not do O&A? I would think you would do it again. I mean, that was great. The way that that was awesome. I'm sorry. I thought that. You know, it was weird. I had you that day, and then Jim Norton came on my show that day, but we didn't really get in too far into it. But I wish you would have done that. I thought you handled that pretty well.
Wow, he's like...
Good for Pete, though, man. You should have done O&A. He's right.
And then
good for Pete.
Ends with this.
You're not going to say anything?
No, he's just very lucky.
Yeah.
Because if he would have personally insulted me like that, which he did, I didn't mind him disagreeing.
I saw you shake. I thought you were going to take him out.
When he personally insulted me like that, I thought to myself, here's what I thought. I thought, you little weasel. I thought if this was back in my Navy SEAL days, I said, right now you'd have your balls tore out and they'd be shoved down your throat.
Wow. That would have been...
For doing that.
That video went viral as it was. That would have really made it very popular.
But
damn. Governor Jesse Ventura.
I'm civilized now, so he's very lucky.
Is he?
He's lucky that didn't happen.
You ever watch his comedy? He's a great comedian. Forget about it. You don't even want to. All right.
No, if that would have happened back when I was 21... he would have been in serious freaking trouble.
Oh, right.
All right, again,
asshole.
don't try to recapture. You stop it.
Yeah, stop.
We get
dramatic.
it. That was why I insulted him to begin with. Take that fucking big guy shit and fucking beat it.
Wow.
Stop. When he was 21, the more important things, the Kaiser was roaming all over Europe.
But that's exactly that thinking. Like, he still feels entitled because he's fucking 6'11". It's like, shut up.
If he had said that, I would have ripped his balls off. Would you have, Jesse?
He should have said, if he'd have said that after my Navy SEAL days when I was wrestling. Because that's another great reference to it. It's like, where were you all those days? Why weren't you fighting all the conspiracies when you're running around with a purple boa yelling at Vince McMahon?
And meanwhile, you wouldn't have said that because at 21, he probably had a full head of hair.
Exactly. It wouldn't have made sense.
It wouldn't have made sense.
I might have insulted his acting or something else.
Rocky Horror hadn't even come out yet.
Absolutely. Came out in 79.
It would have just been really Jim Norton. You would have been predicting the future, which would have been amazing.
We got Louis C.K. in
Louis.
studio. What's up, Louis?
Hi.
I thought you forgot about us.
A big star.
Oh, no, Jesus.
Louis C.K. That picture made him a big star.
That would have been great if you went up to Jesse Ventura back then and said, later when you're bald. Here's how my comment will be on that.
When he was 21 and I was like, maybe I was 1 or not born yet.
Yeah, you wait. And wait when a movie called Rocky Horror Picture Show comes out, there's a guy that's going to be called Riff Raff in there, and your hair is going to be like his.
If he said that when I was 21, I'd have cut his baby balls off.
Yeah. I'd have pulled him down out of his abdomen because they hadn't dropped yet.
I love that he couldn't avoid it yesterday. I just love that.
But do you understand how somebody who tries to be intellectual, I fucking hate these big guys that think they're smart, and they always revert to that. It's like, why would you even have to go to that? It's like if me and Louis or me and Voss or anybody were having an argument, it would just be two guys insulting each other. But when one guy is that size, these fucking dummies always go back to, I would do that.
You know what I could do to you? Well, and then you would go to jail because it would be wrong and illegal.
Exactly.
Yes.
Then just sit here and act like an ape and fucking be big. Then don't sit there and try to make points and get mad.
Yes.
Fucking, I just hate large guys that you, stop thinking that's your ace in the hole, idiot.
Is he a 9/11 conspiracy
Of course
guy?
he is.
Boy, is he.
Wow.
Do you remember once Jim and I were at this cellar and we were leaving and there was a group of people outside of like a little convention hall and they were all wearing T-shirts that say, the government did 9/11.
Of course they did.
And we realized that they're having a convention for that, like a group meeting.
Yeah.
But we catch them outside and they're just... It's after the meeting, so they're just socializing and they're laughing and smiling and stuff, going, "Hey, Rachel, hey, it's great to see you." And like they're just like, they're not talking about 9/11 now. They see each other all the time, so now that it's developed that they're just pals.
Life.
And Jim was imitating one of them, going like, "All right, well, it's great to see you. Let's have dinner tomorrow. And remember, steel wouldn't melt at that temperature. Bye anyway. If I get home safe."
Throw one of those things out. Controlled explosion.
Yeah, remember, keep your eyes open.
See you later. Let me know how it's going with your dog later. Hope that works out.
Yeah. Hope your dog doesn't crash like the government did. Hey, easy now. It's time to go home.
Unbelievable.
Leave it, don't bring it home with you.
They're the worst.
Don't bring it home with you. Leave it there at the convention.
Louis, are we promoting Caroline's or what? Is that the
I'm
deal?
there this weekend.
Oh, fuck.
Sell it out.
You even
God
need
damn, you don't need
promoting.
our-
Just stop it now, Louis.
Stop being silly.
Sunday the first show. No, morning. Sunday the first show is a benefit for my kids' school, so the tickets are a little more.
Oh,
wait.
But,
Kenny, you hear this?
Wow, Louis is doing a lot of fucking shows. Louis is doing
9 shows.
famous guy amount of shows.
famous guy amount.
Yeah. Louis is doing Thursday night, 7:30 and 10. Friday, 7:30 and 10.
I think we're adding one Friday.
Oh, good. Happy for
Holy
you.
shit.
Saturday.
Happy for
Thank you.
Saturday, 7:30, 10, and midnight. And then Sunday, 7 and 9:30. So Louis is doing 10 shows.
But he's doing 3 shows Friday and 3 shows Saturday.
Yeah, that's what happens when people do. This guy didn't need more shows. He'd be up doing Tuesdays.
Change the name of the place to Louis C.K. Lines.
It's pretty good.
The only other person that I ever saw do that was Brian Regan, I believe.
Kevin Hart, too.
Kevin Hart does it?
Makes me
Holy
sick.
shit, Louis. What
Why
the
are you
fuck?
jealous? That's like a kid who plays softball being jealous of A-Rod. There's no point. I mean, it's just so far out of your league.
That is true.
As if it's so close. It's right there for you. No,
Yeah.
it's
Let's equate it to us a
miles
little bit
away.
more. That's like the Sniffles being jealous of AIDS. Fucking Louis, man. 212-757-4100.
Really?
He will sell out 10
You don't have to
shows.
give the number out or nothing.
Louis will sell out
This
all
is a
10 shows.
And the
no-brainer.
benefit for my kids' show on Sunday at 7, by the way, is not a benefit. Doesn't feel we're not
Benefity.
We're not going to talk to you about the
silly stuff. You're just going to do
I
comedy.
hate when people pay tickets for a cause, but they pay it because they're like, hey, I get to see this show. The reward for giving money to this cause
seeing the show.
It's seeing the show. And then you go to the show and they go, these kids need us. Yeah, I know they need us. That's why I'm fucking here.
I'm here.
So give me the show.
Right.
You know, we've had a few laughs this evening.
But
Yeah, let's keep
And
doing that, please.
I'd like to just get serious for a moment.
Yeah,
But
let's not,
cancer's
you
no
idiot.
laughing matter.
Yeah.
No,
And now Louis C.K., ladies and gentlemen. Oh,
Right,
great,
we got to
yeah.
follow some
What?
speech.
Yeah, cancer's no laughing matter, but comedy is. And that's what I paid for, you asshole.
You know, I
Piece of
visited
shit.
a hospital and saw a bunch of young children without legs.
We got a short
Louis
film.
C.K.
We got a short film we want to show you before we bring the
a
comics
short
out.
film.
Yes. Children who have gargled with landmines.
Anything worse? Anything worse when they say we got a short
fault is
film
that?
for you?
Oh, no, you don't want to watch it.
Yeah. Some kid with a cleft palate,
Oh,
missing an
yeah.
arm.
Yeah.
Those cleft palate kids from foreign countries all
Piano
over the side of
music.
the buses and billboards.
Were you guys ever-
Oh, yeah, the dead guy piano music.
Dead guy piano
Were you
music.
guys ever in a spot like that?
What do you mean?
Basically what we're talking about. Do you remember one incident where you had to follow something
shit, yeah.
where you're like, what the fuck
Yeah,
am I doing trying to tell
Thanks
jokes
for
now?
that monkey wrench.
Here at Town Hall, I did a benefit for, it was a good cause. It was, giving money to families with veterans and their family. You know,
Yeah, great cause,
Where
sure.
the VMA or whatever it's called, I don't give a fuck what it is.
Video Music Awards?
the VMA, which all that money goes to veterans.
Yes, of course.
It was a show at Town Hall, and Brian Williams hosted it, and it was this big. So they had all these. So right before they brought me on, this guy who's also already ruining it by not having any stage presence. Like a guy went up, this is just wonderful. All these performers who give their time. I just want to read a letter, and his voice is shaking, and he takes out a letter, and his hands are shaking, and he reads a letter about a woman who has 5 kids and lost her husband in Iraq, and just a list of it wasn't like a here's how they helped me. It's like here's how bad I was, and at the end, so thanks, Louis C.K.
Louis
Literally,
C.K.
Oh my God. Brought me onto that.
Very somber. It would be great, a somber introduction.
Yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen,
put your hands together.
Louis C.K.
You know, stylings.
And then you go on, and people are literally, I'm looking at people wiping tears away.
How did you do?
That's good.
I did great. I had a good time.
Did you mention what happened?
No, I mean, that's the thing. Your first thought when you're in the wings, I mean, these things happen a lot. If you do any benefits and you think to yourself, the whole time, the first thought you have is like, do I make fun of this? Do I go on there and go, hey, dead soldier, thanks I gotta follow a dead Marine.
Yeah, that's
and then you
tough.
realize just the second you grab the mic, you go, no. No. People can shift gears. People aren't retarded. I think performers have that thing they think.
And they did come
this
there
is it.
to laugh.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
you know.
The audience is just as bummed out. They're like, oh, geez.
Thanks a
lot.
lot.
A lot of them were soldiers, and they're like, I know 8 guys that died last week. I don't want to fucking hear about it anymore.
Yeah. Let me come up and read my letter.
Yeah, what about my letter? My wife had a letter. Fucking bitch didn't send it.
The only thing you could mention is maybe the idea that somebody would do something really sad before introducing you without getting too, because Otto had to follow some like fireman's benefit where they were showing like a montage of dead firemen or whatever it was.
Holy shit.
And it was like, how do you go on after that?
I suck a cock, suck a cock.
Yeah, I think he addressed it. Probably didn't go as well as planned.
Unbelievable, man.
Like his career.
Calm down, George. Like when he's got to calm
Easy,
him down.
George.
Easy, George. He grabs the front of George. Yeah,
I hate dead firemen. Oh, come on now.
Easy,
George. We're here in front of a lot of firemen, George. And he's fucking grabbing George's shirt like George wants to run away.
But Otto said the most basic Aunt Otto
nuts. I love
things.
it.
George, now, firemen are good. And then Otto would say like this basic non-soothing thing.
Suckers. Yeah, love touching big fucking fat hoses. You fucking homo.
No, now, George.
No, come on.
No, they're good people that put out fires.
They should put out cock.
Just piss the fire out. Piss it out. Piss it out.
No, George, don't.
It's funny.
He's fucking hysterical.
Yeah, he is hilarious.
Hey, we got food in front of us. Louis settling in.
Yeah.
So why don't we take a quick break? And,
I like the way you think.
Why don't we catch up with Louis C.K. after the break?
Louis having oranges and like cappuccino, which that combination always bothers my stomach.
That's gonna
more to come.
Yeah. Very happy. Louis C.K. in studio. Our pal, our friend.
Louis
and he's playing Caroline's. Honestly, just get your tickets. They're selling like crazy. People hate when we say that. Like crazy. What happened?
Carry me, Lou. I'm eating.
Carry
you? Carry me.
Guy who gives bad examples. They're selling like Petri dishes.
Yeah.
Hot
potatoes.
Petri dishes.
Hot cakes.
Well, you'd be surprised. Those labs really need them. I mean, they do sell pretty good.
That's what I meant. So, Louis, we're talking about Louis' show, and it's going well. And I just, the one thing I did for, I can say that it's fucking really well written, man. And watching you with a camera, it was amazing to me, like, how you see things differently than other people do. Like, the things you were looking for, the shots, the panning. It was like, I would just shoot everybody's face head on. It'd be horrible. But it was really interesting to watch. Like, no, do this, move the camera this way, and then you could see it on the monitor. It's like, God damn, that looks
Jimmy
good.
came back after he did a little something for your new show, and he was just praising you. Going,
Where did you pick that up? Is it just something you...
Well, I love it. I love photography and stuff.
Yeah.
I love making movies is one of my favorite things ever.
You
And,
introduced everybody on this very program to the flip.
Wait, he was the first
flip
guy?
cam. Yes,
that's right.
He was the first guy that came in here and goes,
No kidding.
check this out. And I was like, I went out that day and bought one, and then they came out with the HD flip. Like
we all have them
a week later. They came out with the HD flip, so I bought that one.
I got like 4 now.
Yeah,
I have them kind of laying around the house.
I got
They're
them
like junk.
all over the place. Yeah.
You got to leave them all over just in case something happens. You have one.
Exactly. They're actually excellent because I'm doing an ad for them, but because of that SD, the fact that you can plug them in the computer.
Yeah, plug them right in.
You don't need batteries. That's a big thing.
Yeah. Yep.
The battery stinks in the 2-hour one too. It always shows that it's running out.
Yeah, and then they came out with a new one that takes batteries. Fucking idiots.
Wow.
Fuck Flip. Hope they hope they go down.
No, I hope they flip. They'll wind up falling on their backs or something.
Shit. I'll tell you, when I got my last flip, I did not flip.
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
They got to pump up this technology and make it where you could send your video immediately right from the flip.
Well, that's
instead of plugging in. That's got to be the next thing they do.
That's this thing. There's still like it's a phone or is it a this or that? But that to me, that's a camera that just has some cellular ability to.
But with the iPhone, I could take video and
with the iPhone.
With the iPhone. So everything's a commercial now. Yeah. I could just take a video and put it on Twitter. So what's the difference?
For 20 minutes until the batteries die, right? Don't they stink that way?
You always got to be near a plug.
The new BlackBerry will continue the commercials. They up their video big time in this.
Yes.
I'm finding myself using the BlackBerry a little more than I used to, and leaving the HD flip at home.
Oh, stop with the BlackBerry.
BlackBerry is the best one.
Dude, I'm telling you,
I had both an iPhone and a BlackBerry.
I'm telling you, the video on the brand new BlackBerry, I think, is at least comparable to the iPhone now, if not better. I'm telling you.
I think it's better. Fuck iPhone.
Yeah, and Louis would know.
I dumped my Apple
iPhone and that little fucking square at the bottom.
Wait, you're done with it?
I dumped it. No, I'm waiting. I'm feeling a dip coming.
How much was it when you dumped
I'm feeling a dip coming.
It's called Steve Jobs' death.
It was at 125. I got 225. I got in at 220 and punched out at 225. So it's like, all right, I'll do that, and then I'll try to get back in again when it takes a dip.
I bought Apple at $25 a share once, I remember.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Did you sell? He bought 2 shares. He's still holding on to them. If it goes for $300,000 a share, I'm in.
Are you still doing the gold thing?
No, I mean, I've got
the
gold coins that I bought back then. I still have them. They're like junk now. They're all scratched up. They're just in a jar with some pencils.
They're golden.
When we first met Louis, he'd have pocket money, and he'd run down to the gold store after our show to buy some gold because we were close to that.
That's back when I was married, and you hoard cash when you're in a bad marriage. You hoard, like I used to get paid in cash, like I'd do a gig, and I'd get partial payment in cash.
Oh, wait, I
wouldn't have to fucking argue about when I took money out of the bank. I just had wads of cash.
Just hide it.
Hidden in fucking diapers.
No, I bought it 200. Holy, wait, I was going to say, I bought it 200.
That's smart.
And got out at 224 and change.
Can I say I love when comedians or people I know are doing these, like, they're into these hobbies. Like, for Louis, it was coins. Like, Bob Kelly will talk to. It's like, what are you doing? Just buying herbal supplements. Or Patrice. I remember Patrice recently, like, maybe a year ago, we were away shooting something, and he was buying tea. Patrice was on his tea kick. Right. So we're in this Boston mall. And he's buying like a big tea neti pot. And what kind of teas you got? It's like, you're going to drink this for 2 weeks and then be back to fucking Swiss Miss and unhealthy shit.
Well,
I love when my friends try to be healthy.
Well, comedians just live in malls, and they just kill time all day.
Yeah.
And so Patrice just wandered into a tea store.
And that was it.
That was next to whatever, fat black guy store he was in before.
Exactly. It was either fucking Foot Locker or an arcade.
They have those now. It's just,
malls do suck, man. Half those stores are worthless.
Yeah. That's why I can't work clubs. I can't work clubs anymore that are in malls. That's too depressing. Oof. Like Columbus, Ohio has a great Funny Bone. It's one of the best clubs in the country.
I never did it.
So good. Great crowds, always full, well-run club. And but it's right in a mall. It's indoors in a mall. And that just feels bad.
Yeah.
To be next to the fucking Frogurt place. And,
Frogurt.
Forever 21. Although, I shop there.
Yeah.
Sure.
Because you misread it. You thought it was Forever 11.
Sure.
I don't mind the mall ones as much. The mall is a good time killer. I like staying in hotels that are attached to the mall.
Yeah.
And you just kind of, you go down in the fucking elevator, you walk around, have a Starbucks.
What's your robe? What's your favorite mall store?
I don't know. I like the big, Macy's fucking whatever. It's just something that kills time.
Macy's. What are you doing in Macy's, Jimmy?
Shirts. I buy maybe a sports coat.
They sell kids shirts at Macy's?
Maybe a gentleman's performing shirt. Maybe I say tonight I would like a sport coat, please.
Do you?
I hate all of that. Because when I started as a kid, I had this picture that I was going to be in nightclubs. You know, like someplace with a neon sign outside and a pimp outside, and
somewhere where
maybe
Sinatra played.
Yeah, exactly.
Back in, way back.
Yeah, black Formica tables, and
candle on it.
Yeah, waiters in tuxedos and stuff. Mobsters in the front row, and
like fucking Goodfellas.
Yeah,
someone brings a table out and puts a fucking light on there.
Well, how about you amend the dream? How about you amend the dream? When I was a kid, I thought I'd walk on the moon, and I wound up sucking my friend's dick. Life doesn't always work out the way we think, Lou.
You probably had more fun than the guys on the moon.
You bet I did. One small.
Is this a new Prius story, or is this the same one, Ant?
There's a couple of them.
There's a few of them now?
Yesterday there was one with the trooper that had to get in front of it, a la Chips.
2 new cases,
and saying. Stop. And then there's a woman that was coming out of some guy's driveway. She's some cleaning woman, and she had a runaway Prius that hit a big stone wall.
I think.
And now there's a new guy that his car fucking ran off.
I think Bill Burr was onto something, man. I don't think the government wants us driving Priuses.
You like the hybrid thing, and Bill Burr was like,
that's an interesting notion.
Bill Burr's
all of a sudden, the hybrids are out of control.
The government, the oil companies, they don't want Bill Burr with his conspiracy.
It could be the car. It could be the American car companies.
Well, yeah, that too. That too. Sabotage. He's a victim of sabotage. Yeah, they're having a problem though because they can't figure this shit out. They said it was the rugs at first hitting the fucking gas pedal. Turned out that wasn't it. And now they're trying to say, look, it's not in the electronics. Because if it's in the electronics, they are truly fucked.
Yeah, forever.
Because they can't figure it out.
No.
I think, now I'm not positive about this, the Prius. But I think the Prius braking system is electromagnetic resistance instead of
it absorbs some of the, but also
it uses the energy from like
the brakes.
but
the problem isn't that they can't hit the brakes. The problem is that it's accelerating.
It's accelerating, but it's like a double problem because when it's accelerating, the brakes don't fucking work. Like people have tried to jam down on the brakes and nothing happens.
They actually know what the problem is. They put the B and the G on the wrong pedals.
You are an asshole.
Fucking horrid.
Imagine some company just deciding to make the gas pedal the fat one to the left,
That's all it is.
The brake pedal the skinny one to the right.
Just trying to mix it up a little bit.
Just fucking.
We just don't want to be like the other guys.
We're different.
That's all it is. Very simple.
Get used to it. Get over it.
Get used.
It's your fucking problem.
Imagine driving your whole life and now you got to get used to that.
That would be a nightmare.
That would suck.
Oh god.
Yeah, but they use like what in essence is a generator on the wheels.
Right.
So
that's probably complicated.
The more power you're generating through braking, it charges up the battery and shit like that. But apparently these things aren't working when the thing decides to fucking take off.
Because it's not just a basic caliper brake grabbing.
It's a mechanical, it's something that's worked for thousands of years. Friction is a good braking system.
It's an awfully good one.
When you have fucking coiled copper.
I had this problem with I had a 64 Ford Falcon once that I used to buy old cars and spend a lot of time under them and stuff. And so I had the 64 Ford Falcon and the motor mounts. These are just old cars.
Oh, dude, I've had that happen.
And the motor just sits in there on these rubber mounts. It's just bolted in. But the mounts start to get corroded because the rubber just starts to get old and the rubber starts shrinking. Yeah. And then because the rubber shrinks, the bolts get loose.
Oh, shit.
And so then the motor just rattles in there. And a couple of the mounts were just no good. So what would happen is I would accelerate. And when you accelerate, the motor torques, and it kind of like lifts up a little bit. So what the motor would do is it would lift, as it lifted out of its mount, it would pull on the accelerator cable, And so then, if you went half down, then the accelerator pedal would just slap down onto the floor, and suddenly you're fucking bombing towards the car in front of you. Yeah. And you're standing on the brakes using the steering wheel to pull yourself down, and just go fuck. I went off a road once because I was going towards the guy behind me, and I saw the dude's head snap over to his suddenly
shit.
there's this old car fucking, and I had to veer off and go into some grass. And
that is so fucking funny.
But he probably thinks you're just a reckless asshole.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But it happened all the time.
I think everybody that has gone through the point of buying like old piece of shit cars and stuff has had that happen to them. Because at some point the engine has to be separated from the frame by rubber, and you can't bolt the rubber to the metal.
No, you can't,
because it defeats the purpose. So in essence, it's fucking glued on a plate.
Yeah, basically.
Glue is holding your engine in.
Yeah, basically.
And when that thing rips off like that, gets old. Yeah, I've had it happen. You step on the gas pedal, and the pedal just goes
like
down.
A ghost.
It just like a ghost press the fucking pedal down.
For a ride.
And that's pure mechanical. That's all mechanical. It's just a matter of there is a length of cable for the gas, and when the engine lifts up,
it pulls on it.
It needs a little more cable than you got.
Yeah, exactly.
So it pulls on the gas pedal.
Yep.
It's taking up some slack from under your foot.
Oh, man.
Oh, that was so scary when that would happen.
Horrible.
Fuck. God damn, that's great, man.
I went into a couple of intersections. I mean, because I couldn't get rid of the car. God. I needed the car.
You just
live with it.
I had like an old fucking 66 Mustang, and just brought it back from getting the brakes fixed. And I was coming down a hill, stepped on the brakes, I just heard a bang, and the fucking pedal slammed to the floor. Jesus. Nothing. I had nothing. Jesus. I zipped across a pretty busy road with a sump right on the other side of the road. And had to cut the wheels, hit the sump fence, and like all I'm thinking is how many times I've seen behemoth tractor trailers of jet fuel like going down this fucking road.
Jesus.
And I just happened to missed everything, got right through it, but man, the heart was fucking jamming.
That's when my mother had a Pinto. When I was a kid.
Notorious.
And she got the carburetor replaced. But she found out later the guys who put the carburetor in just didn't bolt it in. They didn't. They hand tightened it and then went to lunch and nobody ever.
Great.
So she's in the middle of an intersection. She suddenly smells gas like crazy, and because the carburetor has just fallen out and there's just fuel spewing. And so she goes to
hot engine,
the light turns green and she touches the gas and the whole front of the car explodes.
Wow.
Boom. She remember her telling me that the whole dashboard of the car was flames for a second and then they sucked back in. Like they just flames that went right up to her and then sucked back in. And so
it was strictly amateur hour.
Yeah. But she got out of the car, which was in gear, so this flaming car started moving through this intersection and she just watched her car on fire.
So she put on big glasses and continued being a bookie. That's exactly what happened though. In casino, the flames came out of the air conditioning vents and then kind of sucked back in.
Yep, exactly.
Oh,
it's a good thing your mother had pause traction. If she didn't have pause traction, she never would have been able to jump the curb at the intersection.
Cousin Louie.
What's that?
Of course.
My cousin Louie?
Vinny.
My cousin Louie. Yuck. Fucking, how easily influenced are you? Hey, it's a Louie Lips now. Anything with Louie. My fucking bag is itchy.
Is it? Making some cheese, are you?
My balls are itching like the Dickens right now.
Are you doing the thumb and forefinger?
No. I'm
squeeze, pinch and roll on the bag?
Pinch and roll is the best.
I'm doing the pick up and drop quickly method.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Like where you just kind of like grip and let your fingers slide off it.
I like that one.
It's like you're trying to pick up a basset hound.
The pinch and roll is where it's at, Jim.
It is, but I can't get my fingers around it.
I want to do that.
I'm going to pinch and roll.
I'm going to pinch and roll.
Let's all scratch our balls.
Oh, yeah.
You roll, yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
I don't think. Do girls have anything on them they need to pinch and roll for an itch?
Really fat girls have big fat pussy lips.
You think they can pinch and roll?
Yeah.
Or they scoot on the carpet like a fat dog.
Yeah. Is there
skinny dogs?
Like, I don't know. Is there a female equivalent to the pleasure of getting a good ball scratch in on a little itchy moment?
I don't think they could do that with their pussy lips, right?
That's like if you were a dog, your leg would get going.
I was in
such a great itch.
I was in an elevator in an airport once, and there was this woman wearing just a sundress. She was really fat and sweaty. And she was wearing a sundress, and it was summertime, and I fucking smelled this reek, and I knew right away. I was like, "That's your." I wanted to turn her and say, "That's your pussy, isn't it? You fucking animal. That's your pussy." I mean, I knew it wasn't like her body odor or something. It was that. I'm like, fuck, I'm smelling your fucking pussy like I'm eating it right now. God damn it, you. And she's just standing there with her luggage.
How dare her.
Yeah. Someone's got to sit on a flight with her all the way to fucking Korea or something.
Hopefully she was going to the Mayo Clinic to die.
Hey, at least this. You dating, Lou?
What?
Are you dating?
Yeah, I mean, I have a steady girlfriend right now. Yeah.
Going well?
Very well, yeah.
I guess
very
there's no
happy.
jokes here. I just want to see if
no
you're doing
jokes.
okay.
That's the thing. Once you find somebody and you care for them, no more funny.
Boo. Boo for love.
Exactly.
Well, you were dating there for a while after the divorce.
I was fucking some women in the puss hole. Sticking my dick in their pussies.
And a boy, Lou.
Did the kids like her?
Squeezing their tits. What?
The kids like her?
Yeah, they do.
That's important, right?
Yeah, sure. I
You're
guess.
going serious.
I don't
What
know.
the fuck?
They don't
All
have
right.
to fuck her.
But if they would.
No, dating was a drag. It's all, you know.
didn't like it?
Well, I mean, the people who are available for dating are mostly younger. I know how Aunt feels about those types. But,
well, you know.
There's a limit, though, right?
It's not necessarily a good thing.
No, the young people, you know.
There's a trade-off.
Yeah.
There's a definite trade-off.
I was with this one girl, and we were in New York together, and I was showing her Washington Square Park or something, and I said, I remember when Rodney King riots happened, there was kind of some tension here, and she was like, the what?
The what? The who?
No,
the where?
the Rodney King.
Yeah.
Remember Rodney King? No.
I hear that, my dick swells up.
I've learned to not make references past a certain year.
No.
I pick a year and just go, there was no history before this year, and I don't talk
but even
about
if you
it.
talk about like Kurt Cobain's suicide, that's old news. That's pretty old now.
Believe me, that's
pretty fucking old.
That's the old history. That's what I don't even talk about.
How long ago was that?
Well, everything, there's so
17
much.
years ago? 16 years ago?
There's such a fast cycle now.
I cut off at the ting-tings.
I remember when we were kids, people used to talk about Fatty Arbuckle when we were younger.
Stooges.
Yeah. And what was Fatty Arbuckle fucked a girl with a broken Coke bottle?
Coke bottle or some shit.
Yeah.
What?
I think it broke while he was fucking
socked her with it. Or
Yeah,
it was an accident.
Yeah, his intentions were good.
Yeah.
If you fuck a girl with a Coke bottle and it breaks,
how angry are you?
You were using inappropriate force.
Yeah.
The torque was not.
Yeah. A few extra square pounds.
But that was Fatty Arbuckle. Was in black and white, that fucking guy. He's like from the 20s, and that sort of sustained until we were, so that was like a 50-year, he was the one guy who did something wrong in all those years.
And that was a relevant reference for quite a while.
Yeah.
Just watching I Love Lucy, things like that, and enjoying watching that program. You can't just describe it or talk. If you put on a black and white television show, you are just...
Nobody wants to.
Don't fucking do that.
But now it's like Michael Jackson fucks kids, OJ killed his wife. Like every 10 seconds there's something.
Yeah.
Those are even old now.
Those are
it's like
old,
who even cares
old news,
about OJ? Let him out. Who cares?
It's like, think about it. How long ago was the OJ thing?
94.
94.
Is when his wife
So we're looking
fell.
at 15. Well, we're
That's
looking
when
at
his wife
about
fell
15
down.
years.
Yeah.
And her head fell off.
Yes,
a few times on the
when
sharp
Clumsy
up.
fell on his knife 387 times, and then fucking Ron Goldman tried to do a karate stance. Got his comeuppance.
You're talking fucking 15, 16 years ago. Now, if you're with a girl that's 21, that happened.
Yeah.
She was 5.
She was 5 years old
when that happened. I don't think she was sitting there with bated breath wondering what was going to happen to OJ.
No.
Yeah. It just wasn't happening. So there's a certain point you just have to cut off.
Yeah, the young girls.
History. There's a trade-off.
Yeah, it was just always this limit.
Ass like a snare drum.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Fucking wonderful.
I like a girl nice and young. Like when you spank her, she doesn't know if you're turned on or if she's really been bad.
I think we got Florentine now ready to join the program. We got a busy show today.
Bring that faggot in.
Want to take a break and then bring him in? What do you want to do?
I'm into breaks.
Yeah, we like breaks.
I love breaks.
But the TV show's going well for Louis. And did we tell the people when it's going to hit?
Bless.
In June, it's coming on in June. I think June 28th. One of those.
This fucking
Thursday nights.
This fucking show is this show is made for our audience too.
It's going to be good.
It's based on your life as a stand-up comic, trying to like balance stand-up and
kids and dating
kids and all
stuff.
that.
Yeah, and it's very FX is very liberal with the language. I can say
They're
almost
great.
anything. Yeah, we could say anything.
Dude, there was
It's
like
crazy.
one or two things you couldn't say. I was like, really? I could say that. I couldn't believe the language freedom you had.
You can't say cunt, fuck, cocksucker. You can say suck a cock, by the way, and stick your cock in my ass and come on my balls.
Really?
No. Yeah, I've asked a lot of things. You can say that.
You've really asked a lot of questions.
Come on my balls, but you can't say cocksucker because there's just one guy in the FX hierarchy who's like, no, I don't like it. I don't like hearing that word, so they took it out. And you can't say retarded.
Yeah, retarded is like the
one,
new
right?
N-word.
It's a tough one.
Retarded, yeah, retarded is useful.
They protest outside. They don't know any better.
We're losing the word retarded now.
We are losing retarded.
We're losing retarded.
That's terrible. It was
retarded.
I think we need to fight for that one.
It was around for so long.
It was.
Like, and it wasn't offensive.
No.
Like, no one cared.
By the way, there's a lot of words that are appropriate for some folks that are not, like invalid is okay to say. How much meaner can you get than that saying someone is invalid?
Exactly.
You're just not valid. Your injury makes you not a valid human being.
It kind of sounds French, though. That's why.
Invalid.
Invalid. That's why we get away with it. It sounds like, I don't know, European or something.
What's the guy's...
Invalid.
What's the guy?
You're just nothing. You're fucking nothing.
What's the guy's
not
name
even
from
worth mentioning?
Scrubs and Platoon?
Ben,
Cunty nigger mouth?
No, that wasn't it.
It's fucking
the guy. Hey, Bob.
Oh yeah, I know you meant
that guy. The guy.
John McGinley.
John C. McGinley. Go to John C. McGinley does a retard public service message
about saying retarded
for not using the word retarded, and I swear I thought it was like going to be a punchline at the end, and it turns out he has a child with Down syndrome.
Wait, is it with him?
But no, he. No,
oh, you mean I thought you meant like he's standing there with a with a kid with Down syndrome going, don't call this fucking thing retarded because it hates it.
Oh my God! No, he actually is the father of a child with Down syndrome.
Okay,
and sorry. Breaking
news.
Look at that.
Oh, my goodness.
Someone that we had on our show at K-Rock, Corey Haim, dead at the age of 38.
Wow.
One of the Coreys is dead.
He seemed a little fucked up.
Yeah.
When he was here, that's for sure.
Are they going with the OD on this one?
This is extremely breaking. Like, I can't even click that tomorrow.
I fucking tweeted about this last night.
Wow.
And this is exactly an instance where any girl I am with would go, who?
Exactly. Yeah, who gives a shit?
Who? I never heard of him. I don't know who he is.
Well...
I don't know him. I don't know what he does. But tell him to overdose.
I don't know this Merle. I don't know what drugs he takes. Tell him you want him dead by morning.
Yeah, I think that's probably a.
Wow, we met him.
30 years old.
I bet a lot of people that died.
Exactly.
Yeah,
we got a lot of people died, killed themselves.
A lot of people, really? How many? How many people do you know that died? A lot.
A lot.
What do you murder them? How do you know so many?
No, I know a lot of. I probably know about 8 different suicides. Fucking a lot of drug overdoses, AIDS. I know a lot of fun ones.
I once
always girls right after I fuck them.
A woman blew me once. There was a woman who blew me who later hung herself.
Wow.
And I told that to somebody.
It was still your cum in her mouth.
Exactly.
She felt so degraded.
You know what? She was brushing her hair in the mirror and she saw a red pube on her cheek and had to die.
But I told that this guy, a comedian I was working with, and he said that there was a couple, like we were starting to compare. He actually had a number of women who blew him who killed themselves. And one of them had hung herself.
Wow.
It's funny.
Wow. You know any
sucking cock is
any girl you've ever been with?
Who hung herself? Yeah, I do.
Really?
Absolutely.
What? Both of you have a hung themselves story? Get the fuck out of here.
Did they just high five?
No.
Did you suck Boner's dick? Was that it?
No, it was a girl. What the fuck? One girl, I'm trying to think if I've ever fucked a girl who killed herself. No, I know one girl I know like fucking 3 comedians have killed themselves.
Yeah, me too.
One,
Drake
2.
Sather.
I didn't know him.
Yeah.
Well, comedians are fucking... Yeah.
Oh, another one. Adam Leslie.
Kooky.
Oh, yeah.
Who I knew casually. Seth Schultz. Who I knew casually
Don't know
from
either of those
Pips.
guys were. No wonder they killed themselves. Never heard of them. I've been doing comedy 25 years, never heard those names once.
Joe Del Duca.
Good job, guys.
And Nicole Pappas is 4.
Oh, yeah, she was a winner. Never heard of her either.
Look at you.
At least 4. Dave Lovekin, 5.
Oh, what about, what's his name from...
Comedy doesn't say...
guy that was hosting Family Feud.
I didn't know Ray Combs, though.
No Ray Combs?
No.
Comedy doesn't have a nice way to say no thank you.
Yeah.
There's no... there's no...
No thank you.
Because it takes like a good 10 years to find out that you're probably not going to make it, and then you end up hanging, and those guys hang on for another... I tried another 5. Now you're 15 years deep into something that didn't work out.
Yeah,
you can't... What are you going to... It's like being in prison. What are you going to do after that?
Yeah. Did you know Richard Jenny?
Oh, fuck yeah, 6.
Rich Jenny.
Right. How did I forget Rich? 6.
Yeah.
We don't like talking about Richard Jenny.
No.
I liked him, man. I thought he was a fucking great comic.
Yeah, he was a great comic.
He had one of the greatest... whatever.
He did a Tonight Show spot where he talked about Jaws 3.
Jaws 3.
For the whole 5 minutes on Jaws 3, and it's fucking hysterically funny.
Really?
It's just you can't breathe.
Yeah.
He was one of the greats.
Find that. I want to hear it.
He
now.
did a bit on fucking... I only worked with him one weekend many years ago in Charlie Goodnights. I opened for him and his opener. And he did a bit on Kevorkian, where he just was talking about how beautiful Kevorkian was because he wasn't afraid to say his name. It was just as if you're watching it's like as a young comic going, ugh. I'm never going to be able to do what he's doing.
He was great. He was great. It was back in those 80s Mock Turtle houndstooth jacket days. He was the best. But he stayed. Very
funny. Always topical. Yeah, he was great. All right, we'll take a break and get Jimmy.
Nice, depressing, talking about dead comics. Corey Haim.
I'm here.
We got
we
the audio.
did exactly what we said earlier. It's not the good thing to do.
We got the audio on people trying to get rid of the R word. So we'll do a little of that after the break and a couple other things.
Okay.
Florentine's going to talk about eating ass, right? Because you said he's the king.
I wouldn't say he's the king, but he loves his ass eaten. Jim,
Louis? What about Louis? Wait for after the break.
I don't enjoy that, no.
Right.
I like doing it.
Wait for after the break.
I mean, no, because the big get. Come on.
Yeah. And maybe get into this Eric Massa stuff from Larry King, because Larry was hilarious last night. All right.
Hey, this is Corey Haim. You're listening to Opie and Anthony.
Really fast. Props to everyone on Twitter this morning. We got Jesse Ventura believes trending on Twitter. We got a bunch of animals.
I believe Jimmy left crying.
That was a funny
Jimmy,
sound clip.
I mean, just Jimmy making a former governor make sounds like is just classic.
He hates my fucking guts.
Destroyed him.
How does that feel?
When Jimmy said, Jesse Ventura, why don't you leave with your riffraff from Rocky Horror hairdo? We never knew how much that affected Jesse
Wow, did
Ventura.
that bug him?
I saw the video of the whole thing.
Yeah, but I thought, like, by now, he probably
be
blew
over
it off
it?
the second he got to the elevator. We were listening to clips from yesterday. He is still so pissed at that line.
He wouldn't go on our show, but he went on everyone
personal.
else's shows to discuss it.
He took it out on, he went personal. And that's when I drew the line. And if he would have said something to me like that when I was 21 and a Navy SEAL, I would have shut up.
The guy was a pro wrestler. That's all they did was friggin' say stupid stuff like that. Now all of a sudden he's going to wrestle with it.
If he had said that to me when I was a wrestler, I would have planned with him ahead of time. I would have pretended to throw him on the floor gently, and he would have...
I would have smashed him with a fake chair.
And I would have stomped on the ground in the same moment so as to
make a loud
synthesize the punching him in the... I haven't actually hurt a human being in 7 decades.
Well, with that, Ann, our listeners are giving him a beating on Twitter. Keep it going. Jesse Ventura believes.
Because I'm sure
make that a hashtag.
I'm sure he didn't say anything bad about the guy who was running against governor in Minnesota when years ago. He didn't say anything personal about him.
Why not say personal things?
No, why not?
What line? Who put that line there?
Exactly.
It doesn't exist.
You could say
especially in an argument.
Exactly.
Yeah, if you're in an argument with somebody, they say something, and then you argue with it, and they stick with their argument, then the next step is to call them a stupid douche fucking cunt face. That's the next thing you do.
Exactly.
Right.
Does the government take it personal when he says 9/11 was an inside job? I think so.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a personal attack.
Yeah, you're attacking the integrity of these men.
Yeah, that's very good, Jim Florentine, who has joined the program.
Of people that died. And,
they don't need to hear that shit
fucking
from this fucking retard.
The pilots that were fucking killed, the family of them, maybe they take it personally when you say it didn't happen.
Well, if their government.
I just want to know how long it took them to wire the whole World Trade Center, you know? Because it had to take probably a couple. You used to be an electrician, right? At least a few months to put a lot of dynamite in there and stuff.
But same thing. Yeah, I know what it's like to look above the hung ceiling and see. You know, you can't just put fucking dynamite. Now I gotta go to the ship and get another match.
You need a huge amount of those
Yosemite
guys.
Sam rigged it like fucking.
Put his fingers in his ears and he hit behind a rock.
Boom! Was trying to light it. Bugs Bunny is poking his head out the trade center, blowing the match out. Does it happen, Jesse? Is that what happened?
It was thermite paint. Let's not forget it.
Would I have hid Al Qaeda in this stove? Would I throw a lighted match in his stove if Al Qaeda was in here?
Dummy. Fucking guy.
Corey Haim is dead, 38 years old.
He's dead.
And they're now saying OD. Well, that would be everyone's first guess, I'm thinking, right?
OD?
OD. Yeah. If you had OD, you win.
From seeing him when he was in here, he really seemed jacked up. He seemed hopped up on the dope.
Yeah, there's something going on, it seems.
Yeah.
Well,
I think he was doing some uppers.
Drugs are really fun. Drugs are really fun.
Hey. We'll have to do an autopsy, Sam.
Kids are dying like this every day.
Every day, Sam.
Such a shame.
Now I'll go to the school and give a speech on drug abuse. Stupid Quincy. Fucking just.
God, why don't they pull that show off the air already?
Just sit. You know what's even worse? I got it on Netflix.
Quincy?
I had to watch. I had to.
You fucking rules.
Because it's like he's a coroner. Who are just morbid people that are in their fucking coroner's office all day making fucking Y incisions on dead people and looking at their guts to see what happened. You know, not in car chases, not exploding fucking shit and chasing down the criminals like Quincy.
Sam, get my tuxedo. I have to go to the White House inauguration and save somebody.
Him and an Asian guy with an American name.
Yes,
with a palatably American name.
He should be putting a toe tag on, but instead he's like, Sam, quick, get me an outfit. I have to dress up like a man about town. I have to stop a crime.
Man about town.
Even though I have intestinal polyps.
I think I remember the theme song. I don't know if you have it anywhere. But the thing about the theme song. Yeah, see, that's the thing they're doing there. It's like, this is a drama, but don't worry, remember Jack Klugman's kind of funny. That's the whole thing.
Holy shit. That is exactly what it is. Very serious. But he was on the
this is all serious. Serious crime.
Serious?
Crime.
Quincy M.E. And now... Oscar
Don't
Madison.
worry, he's funny. He's a funny guy. That's why you're watching the show. But this is a drama. I'm trying to do drama. Yeah, but nobody wants a fucking drama from you. You're Oscar.
I'm waiting for him to pull out an old sandwich out of his tux.
Yeah. They even have him in the opening credits, like eating a Scotch egg or something, don't they?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's eating
Don't worry, he's messy.
He's always involved with adventure and intrigue.
Yeah.
Most people in my job you never hear of, but my car went off a cliff, Sam.
Yeah, no one knows the coroner.
Exactly.
No. How would you know that
But it's
guy?
like, hey, Quincy, the detectives are there on like, he's trotting through crime scenes. Just fucking ruining crime scenes.
Detective Monahan, remember we used to play cards when I was Speed?
Can I take a look at the body?
Yeah.
It's like, no, we haven't even fucking cordoned off the area.
It's not nearly your turn yet.
Yeah.
You're last. You report to the detective.
You fucking hand off to the mortuary.
You fucking overstepping motherfucker.
Yeah. Leave it alone.
Crazy.
They're still fucking photographing the body.
No,
dummy.
every scene should have been like, I'd like to speak to you about the deceased. Who are you? I'm the
medical
exam. Oh, I don't have talk to you. Are you a cop? No, I work at the morgue. And like, get the fuck out of my
You
house.
understand you could absolutely be fucking up our case here?
No, a lot of his scenes start with somebody saying, I already told the police all of this.
Yeah.
It's like, yes, but I have a point of view. I examined the body. Ew, gross.
Yes.
Get out of my house.
I'm not the police. I was the last one to finger your grandmother. She was laying there cold and alone. I opened her asshole and put my fingers in.
We couldn't find a rape kit.
Yeah, Sam laughed and filmed it.
I carried it back in my hand. Sam swab under my fingernail.
I pulled her anus out like a champagne cork and examined it for Negro semen.
Oh, Jesus, Quincy.
Florentine has joined the show. What's up, Jenny?
What's going on, man?
What are you promoting today? Because you're not going to get a chance because this show is moving way too fast.
That's all right.
So get the plug in right
just
now.
some gigs, you know?
Yeah.
I just joined Twitter. I was holding out, but.
Mr.
Why
Jim
you hold out?
Florentine.
I don't know. I didn't get it, but now I get it.
It's Mr. Jim Florentine?
Mr. Jim Florentine.
Yeah, someone had my name.
You would be a good one to follow. I'm going to fucking follow you, my
Why don't
friend.
you ask whoever it was to give your name back? They might have been holding it for you.
No, it was some guy just posing. Now they got him off Twitter, so maybe I could take the real name back.
Yeah, see if you can get it. They should have
Yeah,
it.
that'd be nice. I was following...
Jim's tweets are very funny.
I was following Louis C.K. for a while, and then someone had to tell me, Louis hasn't checked his Twitter in a year.
Yeah,
like,
I know.
awkward.
Why? He'd be a great Twitter.
Awkward. I was like kissing your ass and stuff on Twitter.
Oh, I never look at Twitter.
I know.
I got
Someone
rid
had
of
to finally
Facebook.
tell me.
I got rid of Facebook and I got rid of MySpace. I mean, those are hard to get rid of, too. Like, you have to really fucking work at it.
Yeah, you got to really.
Because when you get rid of a Facebook account, they're like, it's still here. And all you have to do is sign back in and it's back again.
Yeah.
But so we have all your pictures and correspondence with every person. We just have it sitting here. You have to really go through this mishigas to,
Really?
So in
can't just
essence,
delete and
you're
that's it.
still a member, but
I'm
you
not.
just don't
Now I
update.
finally eradicated Facebook and MySpace. I don't have either.
Why?
I hated it. It was making me unhappy. I just hated looking at it and all the fucking people. And I just got tired of it. I got, when I was like met some women through that stuff, and that was a bummer. And then I get hey, and I just hated it. And I also hated that I felt compelled to check it, and I had this data entry job all of a sudden of making sure that everybody knows what I'm up to.
It's an old
That's what it feels like. That's what it feels like.
I gotta update my fucking face.
I gotta let them all know. I got a show coming up. Let's go through the fucking cycle. And I'd like to be proven on my next tour that it's a disaster because I don't have those fucking things.
Oh, right.
Yeah. And it just feels goofy, and I hate this thing of like I hate that I hear actors that I used to admire. It's like fucking Edward G. Robinson, if he was still alive, this amazing guy, and it's like just came out of Macy's and saw Jim Norton.
See? I was at the Brown Derby, see? Yeah, I saw Bing Crosby.
And then a little half clever fucking thing that means nothing. I just got tired. I use Twitter just to announce when I want to
Announce shit.
Yeah, I'm doing this. Please go. Period.
I complain.
I'm not going to be
on
funny
it.
about it.
I just complain on it. Now, I have this show, so I have a great outlet to complain, which I do a lot of. But then when I don't have the show, when it's after 10:30 on the dot, I
10:29.
That's all I
58
have.
seconds.
Like, motherfucker.
Yeah, you get to throw a few of those
Son of a
in
bitch,
there
this guy's
during
an
the day.
asshole or something. Yeah.
But Facebook's like high school shit, though.
Yeah.
I always try to fuck with people like they have the relationship status, so I'll put like married, and people are like, oh, but you got married to who? So like 3 seconds later, I'm like, what kind of fucking life do you have?
Just because I put it down there makes me married.
And then I put in a relationship with Don Jamieson. They're like, you're gay? Why didn't you? I never knew that. Like, I'm like, do you really think that? I'm like, the fuck is wrong with people?
Do you like to challenge people to pillow fights? So-and-so has invited you to a turkey off.
Someone just poked
What's
you.
a turkey off?
Exactly.
Why are there no negative ones? Why is there not so-and-so would like to kick your mother in the cunt? And you go, do you accept? You ask her. I mean, it's not my cunt. It's my mom.
Head of Nussbaum has invited you to a hammer fight.
Why is there it's all silly, funny, nice ones.
Yeah, exactly.
Kind of a fucking...
Well, let's start something. something. Let's start some mean ones.
Corey Haim has invited you to a sleepover because he's dead.
To a dead over.
Won't see him no more.
Oops.
Oh, Corey won't see him no more.
He's gone.
Well, we got the retard
He
word.
sleeps with the overdosed fishes. And no,
We're trying to get.
It was all right.
Come on, give me a.
Nah, it wasn't that bad.
He earned it.
Yeah.
Let him get it.
You said overdose. You didn't need to. You could have just said sleeps with the fishes. We knew he died. All right.
I'm going to hybrid the two things.
Oh, it was clever.
They're trying to get rid of the R word, people. So let's get into this a little bit.
Yes, the R word.
We lost the N word.
Retard.
We're losing the R word. You think?
I think you should combine them and have Al Sharpton.
What?
I thought that was a good one. No.
What does that even mean? It just didn't make any sense.
Have Al Sharpton?
Have Al Sharpton.
What do you mean?
The N word and the R word.
Oh, because he's a retarded. But
you combine
the way
them.
you word
Did you
it.
just half say he's a retarded?
I mean, that's what it is.
The sheriff is a near.
He's saying the sheriff is near.
No, here's the problem with
He's a nearing.
It's scary to use the word nigger because in any context, companies don't back you. Like if special interest groups, if special interest groups,
company back.
Ku Klux Klan Incorporated.
No, but I mean, even in humor, a company would never
what
come.
can Nabisco do for you, Jim? Well, I was hoping. I want to say the word nigger, and I was hoping to get some financing. I wanted to wear a Nabisco hat. Have a Nabisco decal on my car as I say nigger.
Yeah, he's dressed like a NASCAR driver. Just sponsored.
Just to say the word nigger.
Fucking Jim.
I can't get sponsorship for this. Crazy.
You can understand why they're not going to back you, though, right, Jimmy?
No, I don't. I mean, like if we got
with humor and stuff like the Imus situation.
That's what I'm saying. If we got shit for
it's
that,
funnier
if I said
Louis'
nigger,
way, though.
And the fucking
it really is.
Fuck yeah.
And they demanded the firing for use of the word. No company would ever go, it's just a comedian being funny on the air.
Although,
no.
Remember, Imus didn't even say that.
No.
He said fucking nappy. That's all it took.
Yeah. It's all context of the moment.
No, but they don't care about
They
that.
don't even care.
I remember like a week before the Imus thing happened, Patrice and I had a conversation on this show that was fucking incendiary. Brutal. We said the word about 8 times.
Yeah.
And just viciously with no apology.
Yeah.
And the thing that happened on Imus was like questionable, and the thing that happened on your show was nothing. But it's all context. It's when people are listening, they got the ears pierced.
But no, nobody was listening. Media Matters made an issue out of Imus just because they didn't like him.
That's what I mean. People that do that for a living are listening and looking for something.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did a bit once.
No, we did it.
That I'm not even going to mention.
No, we did it.
I'm not even going to mention it.
We skated, brother.
We skated on that one.
Barely.
It was so offensive.
If the ice was any thinner, we would have fell through.
It was so offensive. And finding it anywhere online or anything like that, it's like the Holy Grail.
Nope, we never did that.
It was pulled immediately just so it couldn't be used out of context. In context, it was deplorable.
How about the fuck? I know which one you mean.
Yeah.
With
yeah.
I don't think it's a bad bit.
It was. Bad bit. It was fucking hysterical.
How did you get that? No one could find it online. How could you pull that off?
I think
it's out there. Anthony's
we pulled it immediately.
Right. Yeah, but there's guys out there that have been taping every single show of ours for 10 years.
How about the homeless Charlie bit? Did we get an okay on that?
They're still working on that upstairs.
What's there to work on?
They're lawyers.
Exactly. What's there to work on?
Lawyers.
It was
What
a
else are they
homeless
gonna
guy
do?
came in and was just spouting hysterical homeless crazy banter about public officials, their wives, and how he'd like to have sex with them.
Right.
The Queen of England, things like that. But
God, that was such
it was a crazy
fucking
homeless
horseshit
guy.
Yes,
that made me so mad because also, first of all, just taking it out of everything. You guys, the bit was, I'll tell you what the bit was.
Yeah.
You guys had this homeless guy that you bring into the studio, you give him a cup of coffee, take care of him for the day, and just hear him out. Everybody gets the same 12 people get to talk about. I mean, there's Glenn Beck and Howard and fucking Rush.
O'Reilly.
And O'Reilly, and then on the other side, Keith Olbermann. There's like 12 people that are the only ones anyone has to fucking listen to. And then occasionally some asshole actor fucking pipes in about their ideas. But you guys took a person who's as out of the loop as anyone could possibly
no voice.
be. No fucking voice. And you just heard him out. And you gave freedom to the conversation.
Yeah, let's see what this nut is thinking.
Yeah, and just let him explore these ideas from his point of view. And by the way, he was funny. funny.
He was hilarious.
He was weirdly current.
Fucking Pryor.
You know, and he said he wanted to fuck, he had a passion to fuck these women. And because these liberals come from fucking white rich families, they just were racistly uncomfortable with the idea of him having sex. Now, Anthony, you described it a little rapier than he did, so you notched it up just a little bit. And it wasn't even, you weren't saying rape.
Rapier.
You were saying he's hovering over her, snorting.
I was saying I could picture.
Yeah, exactly.
See, from him talking about it, I then wanted to conjure up the image of what it would have looked like for him to have been doing that. And it would have been horrific. The script, just the look of horror on the women's faces.
Which was to me, I'm sticking with that this was about democracy.
Yeah.
That was a democratic notion to say.
And you're not even wrong.
What is he pissing? Jim is pissing in my oatmeal. Jim is literally pissing into my oatmeal. I was half done. He just pissed into it.
I thought he was just going to stick his dick in it.
That's what I thought too.
I'm like, all right, it's pretty funny.
All right, I'll still eat it.
He's going to hover it around it.
Yeah, if his dick was near it, I would still eat it.
Right, but no, actually.
You just pissed into my oatmeal.
Look, Jimmy just pulled his dick out
and pissed into my oatmeal. By the way, how do you have that kind of control that you can just
turn it on
piss an ounce? It's like your piss is a syringe with the fucking those little black gradated lines on it.
Louis making
how many cc's was that?
What the fuck?
Holy shit!
Louis making some good points here.
Oh my god! That's what he thinks of what you have to say.
No, it just had to be done. The oatmeal was mocking me, daring me to urinate on it.
Like a fucking cat. You just have to piss. That's mine now.
A couple things on the homeless Charlie thing. We never saw the guy again.
Yeah.
So I don't know if the government took him out.
Oh no.
And XM wanted us fired for that bit, but we had a
No, Hugh Panera did.
Well, he was XM. He was the main
thing.
guy at XM, and we were able to, avoid a firing.
Guilty
thank God, but we didn't avoid a 30-day suspension.
Why can't a homeless guy fantasize about fucking some high-status fucking loser cunts? Who gives a shit when he says about the president's wife? That's the kind of society we're supposed to live in.
Right.
And people, I read some of the
State and the Queen of England.
Some fucking cunt whore on Huffington Post,
of course,
wrote this thing where she said here was a black man fantasizing about raping 3 powerful white women. Mm-hmm. One of them was black, by the way.
Condoleezza Rice,
was black. And he didn't talk about raping the Queen. No. He didn't even mention having sex with the Queen. He did a funny joke about it where he said, "You lost, bitch," because she lost the revolution. "You lost, bitch. Go home." It was a great. Nobody ever makes a joke like that about the Queen of England. We won that war. You fucking go home, you horse face. It was hilarious.
What happened was this was when the merger was being talked about. XM Sirius.
It was merger.
The
merger. Sam, I think this was a merger.
This is a merger.
This is
no accident. It was a merger.
It was a murder.
People in regular radio didn't want the merger to happen. So what happened was when somebody probably from the NAB, I'm guessing, fed this to Drudge or Breitbart, and they put it up. This was about people. And then a blogger said, "Will this hurt the merger?" And the fucking dummies at XM listened. Some blogger
might hurt.
Oh, I'm sorry. It wasn't Hugh Panera. It was Nate Davis who wanted us fired. Who was the black head of. But I think I heard Hugh.
I talked to. Trust me, I had to hear it from Hugh. Trust
but the fact that XM
he
didn't
was
just
right
go,
there with Nate. He was ready to fucking pull the fucking.
It's a tasteless joke done by a homeless guy.
Yeah.
Eric Logan saved our jobs. That was a fucking absolute disgrace.
Yeah. Is it that you guys got suspended for that?
30
days
from satellite, and we could still do broadcast
radio
you could still
during
broadcast,
that time, right? But not that,
which was just so weird.
Fucking race in this country.
How do you get suspended from satellite radio?
We were the first. We were the first.
Isn't that unbelievable?
For content. We were the first people suspended from satellite radio for content.
And to this day, we're trying to replay the bit on our show. We can't get it done because the lawyers are still discussing it.
There's
upstairs.
nothing to
Just
discuss.
give us the fucking bit. It
What
already
is there
aired.
to discuss?
It's already out there.
What is that Bush bitch? He was a funny dude,
He
man.
was fucking
He was funny.
I would love to have him back
to
on the
give
show.
his raw point of view. Like,
Yes.
who fucking says that these, Glenn Beck says something that offends me every 10 seconds. Why don't I get to take him off the fucking air?
Yeah.
That's right.
He talks about shooting people in the head. He's calls people Nazis and communists. He has a really extreme point of view.
Yes.
But I don't give a shit. I just don't listen to them, and I go ahead and be offended. I don't know why people think that they can
have to get them.
I didn't like hearing that. Well, that's a shame. I hope you feel better now.
And
to have a glass of water.
And that's
your fucking problem. That was offensive to me. Too bad. Like, when you find yourself having to defend something like, well, I didn't mean it offensively. No, I meant it offensively because that makes me laugh to offend you.
Yep.
So you get offended, and that's your problem. Yeah, it's a tough world. It's cold outside in the winter, too. Why do you think you can control shit?
Yeah,
it's because people are told by advertising that they have a right to the world exactly the way they want it. So when something happens that pisses them off, they're like, I'm gonna do something about that.
I have a say. I can make a difference. Well, in what?
I think TV and radio should be a fucking crazy wasteland. I really do. I think it should be like, you gotta, if you want to watch fucking Mad About You or whatever it is now, that's how old I am.
Mad About You. Don't bring that up in front of the young
David
girls.
Spades, David's, whatever that is.
You want to watch My Mother the Car?
My favorite Martian.
Spin City. Whatever, those shows, I don't know if you fucking even know one now.
Texaco Theater.
Bored to Death or Death.
My Three
Till
Sons.
Death?
Yeah.
Till Death. That's on, right?
All right.
Okay, if you
Two
want
and a Half Men.
2.5 Men. Okay, let's say
There
you want
you
to
go.
watch that. Right before it is like fucking dick and ass porn. And right after
You really got to time when you change the channel.
You got to really be...
Men's gonna have a good lead-in.
really good lead-in. And then after it is like fucking people being beheaded. Just beheadings with funny noises over it.
That's the smorgasbord.
Yeah, with somebody just screaming retarded over and over again, which, by the way, would also be a good lead-in for any show. And if you're a parent, you just got to go, I got to be really, I can't leave my, I can't just leave my kid in front of the TV and put the remote in his hand. I have to actually, I have
to spend the entire day not working because I'm constantly changing the channels.
Exactly.
Oh my God.
Why do people get protected that way? I don't get it. People don't have an inherent right
to
have shit fucking coiffed and perfected.
People
for them.
think they have a right to not be offended.
Yeah.
Which is, it's
You
not
don't.
a right. You don't. I have
do
the
not.
right to offend. That's
Of
my
course you do.
right, is to fucking be offensive, to say things that you find offensive. You don't have a right to not be offended.
No.
Sorry, it's just the way it works.
No.
There are consequences to what people say, but I have a right to fucking
And
say
also,
it.
offending people is a necessary and healthy act. Offending people is advancing the human brain to another place. Every time you say something that's offensive to another person, you just developed their fucking brain and you caused a conversation. All those things are positive. And I don't mind people like going on their shit cable channel and saying, I hate this, putting your picture there and going, this guy shouldn't have said. That's great. That's all healthy.
But don't fucking,
trying to get people fired, take them off the air.
Sponsors,
or having any fucking government thing that controls what people say.
I just don't like when you get a group together and they protest and threaten a boycott of companies that sponsor this, that, because that to me is mob tactics. That's like trying to influence your income or the company's income to get you fired, which in essence is censoring you.
Yep.
You're indirectly censoring what I say.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Once removed, I'm being censored.
And they're hiding on the technicality that, well, technically, a company, you're not being put in jail, so it doesn't affect your freedom of speech because a company has a right to say what they want to pay you for.
Yeah.
But you are affecting somebody's, if they're paid to say what they want, you are affecting their ability to speak freely because you're threatening their livelihood.
For me, I go back to before they started doing that, because when they do that, fine, that's even their freedom of speech. If they want to be a nuisance, if they want to make life hard for somebody, that's their freedom to do that. But they shouldn't have thought that their being offended was important to begin with.
You're right.
It shouldn't have, that really offended me. Now I'm going to do something else. You don't get to go, it's just such a stupid impetus. It's just, it's just narcissistic.
Most offended by things are the ones that do have the problem with what they're saying they're offended by.
Yeah, always.
It's always the case. Because I really don't have huge problems with things that people say, their ideology or what they say. I can be very vocal about certain things, but, when I'm driving home, I could really give a shit.
No.
People just get out of my way if I'm in the left lane.
People who get fiery offended by anything are they are a closet that thing.
Right. They
Always.
have such an issue trying to keep from doing that or saying it
like the
or
state
whatever.
senator in California,
exactly,
who hates. He's just anti-gay. He's gay. It's the same.
Wants a dick so bad.
No, like when those. Remember, Calvin Klein had those ads for a while that looked like somebody trapped a teenage runaway
in a paneled basement.
Yeah, and said open your legs and took a picture and put it up there. They were these were very young, skinny kids.
Yeah.
Wearing underwear and jean shorts and stuff. And some priest went after it like crazy, like, you can't have that up there. And there's no way he's not it doesn't have a huge boner in his pants.
He fucking couldn't look at it.
If he had no attraction to those kids, he would have just walked by. Oh, look at those children.
Wouldn't even think twice about it.
No, but he's like, I have jacked off to this 50 times. I raped a little girl after I saw that, so please take it down.
Take it down. I can't control myself. That's
a little girl. Look at you being PC.
Really? Well, it leads to the retard discussion that we have in front of us here. Let's take a
more
listen to
Jesse
this clip.
Ventura.
It's become known as the R word, retard or retarded. It can be discriminatory and cruel.
Today, young people across the country joined a campaign to stop the disparaging use of the word.
Spread the word to end the word. That's what they want. It's a movement aimed at mutual respect and human dignity. And people who know the hurt of the R word led the charge to get rid of it.
The R word.
We're talking about human beings here.
Sophomore English class at Conifer High School. The assignment, write a personal narrative on a topic important to you.
Reggie wrote his paper on the R word.
Haircuts that
Reggie
look like Mo
Dickoff has
Howard.
autism. The R word is retard or retarded.
I feel it just demeans people with learning disabilities.
Can you pause this for a second? Did fucking Dumbello write his dissertation in crayon?
Dumbello.
The R word is unpleasant because you're
Italian.
Fair enough.
Dumbello.
First of all, I doubt that he was offended by the word. Of course. I think somebody may have told him that this was going on, that he would be a part of it, and to stop chasing the pinwheel and look like this is important to you.
He doesn't understand what he's saying. He said, I don't like the R word, sushi.
Just demeans people with learning disabilities.
So today, Reggie joined a movement to spread the word, to end the word. Have people ever called you retarded, retard?
No.
Really?
But I do hear people calling other people that word.
It's you.
And I never feel good when they say that.
You could have just stopped right there. And
Yes,
never feel
because
good
they're
with shit in
hurting
your
that
pants
person's. They're hurting that person's feelings, so it made you sad. What does that mean that you have a say in what they fucking say?
What they say.
That's the thing is, like, nobody. I mean, I think probably one person in the last 12 years pointed at a retarded kid and said, "You fucking retard."
Yeah, hey, you
I'm
retard.
going to go ahead on a limb
I
and
would
say
absolutely think that.
Pretty much, it's almost never happened.
But I will look at Jim Norton after he says certain things and go, "You're retarded."
No. It's like I was on stage once and I was telling a story about a pony that bit my daughter, and my daughter was bitten by a pony, and I was so mad at this pony, and I said, "You fucking cunt pony," and some woman in the audience was like, and I'm like, "What's your problem?" And she's offended that I use the word cunt. Here's the thing that drives me crazy. A male pony, I guess, who cares, bit my daughter, and I called that pony a cunt, and she's trying to get in the middle of that.
Like it's
like she's like, I'm offended. You just called me a cunt. No, I didn't. I don't even know you, you fucking cunt. You stupid, retarded cunt. Now that you're in my sights, you're a cunt. But this has got nothing to do with you. You don't own that word. You just don't own it. I'm angry at a pony. I called it a cunt.
Did she really go?
I think I might be making it up. I got a face from a woman. I could see her looking at me, and I was like, it was all went on in my head, Anthony. I nobody
belt her in the mouth.
I don't understand.
Very nice.
I don't understand people that get offended in comedy clubs.
Yeah, that's
you should know what you're
thing.
getting into when you walk into these places.
Anything might happen in there. Who the fuck knows?
I just did a casino in Tampa at the Hard Rock. My third joke in, I had 4 people walk out. Third joke in the set. It was older people. There was some older people at the casino, you know, some high rollers and stuff. That was just doing some Tiger Woods stuff. Third joke in, they walked.
Fuck you.
It was beautiful. I was like, this is fucking great. I'm like, if you guys are already leaving on a third joke, let's just fucking end this right now.
Thank you. Good night.
I'm just starting off nice right now.
Yeah. It's going to get a lot worse.
This is the good, nice, pleasant stuff.
And they had to take that long walk. They're right in the front. They go all the way in the back.
It takes forever.
Yeah, it was great. It was so uncomfortable.
Sit down at blackjack and lose your fucking ass.
Did they have walkers?
Bastards.
They weren't at all, but
that would be.
Well, they're not offended being in the casino where people are gambling with their kids' tuition money. That doesn't bother you.
And there's shit on television that just has they just have an open fucking antenna for 24 hours a day of viciously offensive programming. That's just offensive in a way that it's not popular to say.
Right.
All the shit that goes on CNN and almost every fucking channel has somebody just being disgusting and, exploitive. Nancy Grace, fucking this ghoul who just dredges up people's personal lives that were murdered and turns it into something. They were murdered.
That was no accident, Sam. That was murder. I know botulism. I've poisoned quite a few people.
It's unbelievable.
There's a girl
on that show. There's no fucking Jack Klugman's dead. There's not even like the best boy on that show is still alive.
He's not even dead.
We're just dragging it through.
He's not dead.
No, he's not.
He's hanging in there.
He's alive.
His voice is a little fucked up from some cancer.
Like he was murdered. His voice was murdered.
There's a red-headed man. He has tinkle in his oatmeal, Sam, and he's going to eat it.
I can't believe we moved on from the oatmeal thing so fast.
Yeah, that was
that was nothing.
Jesus Christ, that was nothing.
I think it's something that happens, and then you a couple hours later, like, did he really do that?
Did he do that? Yeah. Did he took his stick out and pissed in my oatmeal.
Amazing. Here's part 2 of the R-word thing.
Reggie's classmates urged others to stop using the R-word in a derogatory manner, and they offered a chance to take the R-word pledge.
It may not affect me specifically, but it affects my friends like Reggie, and I feel that if I can stop it, I should.
Today marks the second annual Day of Awareness, an ongoing effort by Special Olympics and Best Buddies International. College campuses, including Regis University, joined the campaign. For Reggie, it's progress.
I just hope that less people use the R-word.
Makes for a better life for you and other people with disabilities, doesn't it?
It sure does.
Yeah.
The national goal today was to get 100,000 people to pledge their support and to get people to remember that R is for respect.
How ironic is it that the guy sounds like...
Is that the only word that begins with R?
How about
sure?
Retard?
How about rump? How about what his mother drank? Rum.
And the type of abortion she should have had, retroactive.
How ironic is it that the guy sounds like Stephen Hawking?
Yeah, he does. And people use retarded. Hey, he's nervous because he's talking on TV, which he shouldn't be.
Poor little guy.
He's being forced into this thing. You know who makes me sick too is Sarah Palin when she talks about the joys and the challenges of having a Down syndrome child. Her baby is under 1 year old. It doesn't matter yet that it's retarded.
That's true.
It hasn't started to become an issue yet.
At that age,
what matters is when the kid acts the way it does now when it's 15 years old. Then it becomes a joy and a challenge. But when she was standing on that stage at the fucking convention holding a baby that just came out of her fucking disgusting cunt. Her fucking retard making cunt. And she held it up. I hate her more than anybody. And she held it up and said, "This is really hard raising this. Really, it's a baby to stick your tit in its mouth."
You really don't like her, huh?
No.
Hello?
No.
Lou's not a fan of Sarah Palin.
It's not going to start failing IQ tests yet.
That's Louis
C.K.
C.K.
It's just a fucking baby.
We don't know Louis C.K. He just came in to promote a gig.
This audio might get pulled like a homeless audio.
Yeah, no kidding.
Hey, Louis right, though, as far as baby is a baby, you don't notice an intelligence.
It's not a thing yet.
It's as a baby, you don't notice.
It's like, this 6-month-old is acting like this 3-month-old is acting like a 2-month-old. It's got developmental problems. By now, it should have been going, not just. This is a real joy and a challenge. But I'm sticking by her. That's how brave I am. Boy, I'm a committed mother because I'm feeding a fucking baby that looks like every baby on the planet. She has no idea. She has no idea what it's like yet.
Yeah, she's like in the honeymoon phase right now.
Yes, the honeymoon phase of baby. Yes. But no, when that kid turns fucking 12 and it's still not tying his shoes, she's going to be able to, enough with this.
Yeah, this is a challenge.
This is now a challenge and not a joy, frankly.
Wow. Wow.
I cannot stand the use of the first letter of a word now that everybody wants to just throw in there. Now it's the R word.
Well, that becomes the word,
The
though,
C
now.
word was...
That's the
who
word.
knew? Like, the C word was the first one, really. It was like you couldn't say... I remember my fucking ex-wife, who, by the way, I would use that word all the time with, would go ballistic. If we were having an argument, which was a lot during my fantastic marriage, all I would have to do if she was like walking up the stairs is go, "You fucking cunt." What? Like she would hear, she fucking bionic hearing at that point. She'd hear the word, and no matter what we were discussing, no matter what the argument was about, it stopped instantly, and it was just about me calling her a cunt.
Yep.
And you know how I hate that word. Don't ever use that word in front of me.
That's why I used it. I'm mad at you.
Yeah, exactly.
What am I going to call you, dear?
What am I going to do?
You made me mad.
We didn't drop fucking firecrackers on Hiroshima.
Goddamn
you get your best weapon, your biggest weapon, and you fucking drop the bomb.
It's like a daisy cutter.
So, yeah, that's it. Exactly. That's why they call it the C bomb. It's a fucking bomb. It's meant to end things. But, you know, the C word. The C word. Call it the C word.
The N word, the R word, the F word, which is now faggot. It's not fuck.
Right.
Yeah. What is the F word? Faggot?
Faggot, C word.
Is that it?
It's nigger, cunt, faggot, and retard. Those are the words right now that we're saying that you can't say. So
right
basically,
now,
whenever I need my girlfriend, I have to yell, "Hey, you."
Hey, miss.
Well, you know the midget word will be there soon, and then Oriental is another one that's going to be.
I actually heard the M word. I think I heard the M word for midget already.
Yeah, good luck with that.
They don't want to fucking...
We'll keep it with a lowercase m.
Oh, my God! Wow!
You think we'll lose? You think we'll lose faggot?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Without a doubt.
Growing up, we all used it, and we weren't thinking gay.
Well,
we're just saying, look, stop being a faggot.
If we want to say gay, we'd also say that's gay, never meaning homosexual.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, you
really didn't use it. Right.
That's
It's
gay.
all this
Your
stuff
bike
happens.
is gay. Your bicycle's so gay.
This
like,
stuff
really,
happens in cycles.
Yeah.
And it just depends on what time of history or who gets mad or what gets interesting to the media. I saw this documentary it was a whole documentary about Huck Finn and, Nigger Jim, the character in the book.
Yeah.
That every few years... they try to ban, throws Huck Finn out of a library.
Oh, yeah.
Or they try to put out an edition that doesn't have Nigger Jim in it.
Right.
And, it was really interesting. It showed how far back, it goes right back to when the book was first written, and in every country eventually starts taking out the Nigger Jim. Wow. Or there's a few, then they'll have a protest. It just comes and goes.
How's that going to change anything?
They
That's the way it was written.
Great piece of video, though, where Ronald Reagan is giving some sort of, commemorating when he was president, something that had to do with, Huck Finn. Or Mark Twain, he's opening a Mark Twain Center or something.
Yeah.
And he says, who can forget the wonderful adventures of Huck Finn? And he looks off camera for a second, he goes, and his friend, Jim.
Yeah.
And you could tell that he was, because he's an old guy who's about to say that they were like, don't, Mr. President, you mustn't say Nigger Jim.
No.
You just got to say Jim. And he looked off at an aide like his friend, Jim.
That's right.
That's how close he was. That's how close we were to having video forever running. And his friend Nigger Jim.
But Reagan was so old, he really fucked up. He goes, and his friend, Jim the Nigger.
Jim, who was a nigger.
Yes, and who consorted with them and laid down with them.
Oh, my God.
And his friend Jim, who I think was a nigger.
Look, I made a career to make fun of retards, so I'm on.
Yeah, you did. Absolutely.
Right. So how do you feel about Firehouses in Pennsylvania to headline an improv by making fun of retards? So I'm all for that word.
So you're getting a little nervous over there.
Not at all.
We can't lose the R word.
No.
You already banked that money.
Absolutely.
Yeah, okay.
I already paid off a couple of mortgages.
All right, fuck.
Let's just fucked, man.
Let's break here. Louis C.K. is going to be at Caroline's, 212-757-4100. Not many shows left, so If you want to see Louis, get on the phone immediately.
Can I get another oatmeal from somebody?
It's right there. Yeah, we got you one.
I had Kenny get you one immediately.
It's on the right side.
Kenny shit in that one.
It's far away from Jimmy's penis.
Yeah.
And
is anything really far away from Jimmy's penis?
And Florentine, what are we promoting? What do we got?
This Friday at Mexicali Live in Teaneck, New Jersey with Don Jameson, and then Saturday at the Mohegan Sun in Connecticut.
Very cool. Brett Michaels is going to be on the show in about, I don't know, hopefully a half hour or so. So
good.
We got lots to do today, man. Wow.
It's like literally she's attacked.
This is amazing. We got to get some of this on the radio, guys. We got Louis C.K. in studio playing Caroline's. 212-757-4100. Not many shows left. They're selling out. We got Jim Florentine, who's promoting. I already forgot what you're promoting, Jim.
Mr. Jim Florentine on Twitter.
That would be good, because if you start following him on Twitter, then you'll know where he's appearing.
Yeah, and I'm doing this Friday, Mexicali Live in Teaneck, New Jersey with Don Jameson, and Saturday, Mohegan Sun, Connecticut, and every Wednesday, March, Uncle Vinny's in Point Pleasant, New Jersey.
Jesus.
And then we're doing Kenny's benefit thing, me and Jim Norton.
That fake benefit?
And Otto,
that fake
March
benefit?
24th, Stress Factory, New Jersey.
It's a great comedy show, but it's a fake benefit.
All the money goes to his son's high school.
Why is it fake?
I don't, because I think Kenny's trying to raise money so they could get their limos or something. He lives in a good school district.
They need limos for the proms.
Yeah, all right.
You didn't make fun of Louis when he's doing a benefit for his school. It's a worthy cause.
Where they have no books. Fucking limos.
What is it for? Where does this money go, Kenny?
Project graduation to pay for their prom.
It does. So we're paying for their limos. All right. Condoms involved.
You know how little fucking my kid goes to a public school in New York? One time I was walking her home from school, and she said, "Oh, we found a poop in the classroom today." And I was like, "What?" And she says, "There was a poop. We found a poop."
Foreign exchange student?
And I said, "What do you mean you found a poop? Like somebody was digging through, like a rat poop or something?" She goes, "No, like a person, like a
Jesus
big poop." Like, how did you where did you find it? She's in the middle of the floor.
Like an adult poop?
Yeah, she said that we went to lunch, and then we came back from lunch, and there was a poop in the floor. And I said, "That's crazy." And she said, it happened a few times last year, too. It happens.
That's a janitor.
You lean down and go, "Hey, I don't give a shit. So I found piss in my oatmeal."
Must have been a retard in the class.
I said to her, she asked me, how did the poop get, how do you think it got there? And I'm like, somebody went in your classroom while you were at lunch and pooped in the
Probably
floor.
an angry janitor or something.
And she goes, "No, that's crazy. Nobody would do that."
Well, then how did it get
there?
there?
And I said, "So how else would," she goes, "I don't know. You tell me, how did it get there?" And I'm like, "Somebody sneaked in there and pooped. There's no other explanation." She goes, No, Daddy, nobody would ever do that."
Wow, she was not fucking buying that.
She can't fathom that, and yet what other explanation? It was an accident that somebody, thought that that's where poop goes, or,
maybe someone
they made a UPS delivered the wrong
maybe
thing.
the poop was made somewhere else and dragged to that location.
Yeah, with a fish bowl net.
The poop was made somewhere else.
That's right, Sam. That poop was not organic to that floor. There was little flecks of botulism. It was drowned and brought here. It came out of a can of potted meat.
I want to get back to Kenny's benefit. I don't want to confuse people. I want people to go to the Stress Factory because it's a great comedy show, but I don't want to acknowledge that it's an actual benefit for down and out students
who need a limo to get to their prom.
Yeah, it's a fundraiser.
It's a great comedy
between
show.
a fundraiser.
I don't want any of this money to go to condoms. I want them to all wear no bags that night.
That's right.
That's fair enough.
They don't do sex. They're too young.
Yeah, really?
You don't think your son's having sex right now?
He doesn't want to think about it.
He just doesn't want to think about it. Kenny doesn't? How old is your son's 17, right?
Believe me, I'm very happy he brings girls home.
Yeah, you got the makeout room down. You got the makeout den downstairs, right?
I refinished the basement specially for my boys and dedicated it as the makeout room.
Yeah, It's got the nice old couch and.
Is anything else allowed to go on down there besides making out?
No, they can do whatever they want. I got the whole setup. I got the bathroom down there for the after piss. Yeah, believe me. I leave the door open a crack. And I can also hear through the air vents.
Nice.
You have some plastic...
It's like the people under the stairs.
Really? You have some, garbage bags and, bleach for when shit goes wrong?
Yeah. And some lye.
Because Kenny knows how to clean up a crime scene.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Okay. I always spray aluminol.
You just go upstairs and take a shower. I got this.
New rugs to lay down.
Where's her wallet? Let's get started.
Let's get
Okay, I've been waiting for this day. Get the bowling bag.
We have to chop her up. Just no emotion. She has to be dismembered.
So it's March 24th at the Stress Factory.
It's a great lineup.
Me, Florentine, Don Jameson, Otto, and George, and hopefully more people.
Yeah, Louis, you're more than welcome
Does
to
it say
perform.
that on the bill? Hopefully more people.
Well, the other comedians, we have to see availability.
You guys passed over the fact.
I won't work at the Stress Factory.
You guys passed over the fact that he listens through the vent. You're listening to your kid have sex right through the vent.
I'm just
I'm sure
making
they
sure
listen
to
to
be
me.
responsible.
They listen to you doing what?
My microwave fucking. I'm in and out.
Off.
So wait. So do you hear him having sex though through the vent?
What have you heard
Have
through
you heard
the
him
vent?
before?
Yes. Yeah, on occasion, they'll put on a good show.
Can your son
for me.
last? Can he last long?
Longer than me.
Jesus. House of horror.
It really is just a nightmare.
Does your wife get mad as you have your ear to the vent?
No, she gets mad that they last longer than me.
I remember bringing a girl home in high school, and she spent the night.
Really?
And the next morning,
that's
I came out. It was a Saturday or something. I came out. My mother's
You had the cool
there,
pants.
and I'm acting weird. And my mom goes, "Do you have a girl in there?"
Wow.
And I go, "Yeah." And she goes, "Did she spend the night here?" And I go, "Yeah." And she goes, "All right, give her some breakfast." You know?
Oh, that's nice.
That's a cool parent.
What's she gonna
right there.
fucking throw water on her? And unclean whore.
We couldn't get away with that shit.
3
in my
weeks
house.
ago, I
Hell
stayed at
no.
my mom's house. I went to some party with my girlfriend, and we're going to stay there because we got drunk. And my mom's like, "You guys can't sleep in the same bed." I'm like, "Are you serious?" She's like, "Yeah, seriously. She's going to have to sleep in another room."
That didn't
Wow.
happen.
3 weeks ago?
Yeah, 3 weeks ago.
Maybe she
I'm like,
wanted-
"Come on, Mom."
3
She said,
weeks
"Look, this
ago,
is
she
my
wanted you
house.
to
I don't
sleep
want
in
that
her
going
bed."
on in here."
Wow.
I'm like, "Man, you're fucking old school."
Because you're not married yet?
Yeah, we're not married, so we couldn't sleep in the same bed in our house.
So what you should have done was fucked her in the ass in the living room, and then slept in separate beds and left video.
It was great because then I just banged her and went to the couch. I didn't have to cuddle.
You know, that's actually pretty great. Yeah. Sorry, my mom says you should do that at your own house. Look, I love my mom.
I know.
You got to go home, sweetie. My mom wouldn't approve of this. Get the fuck out. Give me some time to have some snacks, watch cable.
You want to hear something interesting?
Great.
Is it going to be about how your ankles look like Hillary
What
Clinton?
an awful way to start a conversation.
Right.
Would you like to hear something interesting? Interesting? I love interesting things.
Please.
Here's a humorous anecdote.
One time, me and my wife were arguing, and she was mad at me, and she wanted to insult me. And she goes, "And your son has a bigger dick than you do."
Wow. That is interesting.
How did she know that?
That's what I'd like to know.
I mean, she probably the last time she probably saw it when he was like 4.
Yeah, so
that's not good.
So that's not good. Your son has had a bigger dick than you since I fucking put talcum on it.
That's hilarious. What a great insult.
That sucks, kid.
That'd be terrible if it was a reverse insult and she was mad at the son, and your father has a bigger dick than you. What a terrible insult that would be.
Your son had a bigger dick than you when he was born.
My mother said the same thing to my father, but she didn't say bigger, she said heavier.
Heavier.
Your son has a girthier dick than you.
Heavy.
All right, Kenny. Well, the benefits are
Lead
going to be great.
weights in your dick.
The comedy show's going to be great, yes. And hopefully they'll get those stress limos.
All those limos for the
All right.
nice kids to fuck in.
Louis started some Sarah Palin conversation during the break. It was pretty good, too.
Apparently he believes
pretty
she
good.
is Adolf Hitler.
Well, she's got potential to be.
Yeah?
Yeah, because like I was saying that, you only, in times of national crisis, you only need like 30% of the public to take over.
And we're in that crisis
Well, we
mode.
might, if one bad thing happens, like a major 9/11-y kind of thing.
Yeah.
I like that that's a cutesy adjective now.
9/11-y.
It was kind of 9/11-y.
We're describing a date.
Yeah, it was a little bit 9/11-y.
Yeah.
Like that date I had on 9/11 that was ruined by 9/11.
I don't think Sarah Palin's any threat.
I think that
really don't.
if there's some bad thing, then she could grab and take over.
Just that she's pro-life, though. She'll never get the.
Well, again, when
the
people
big
are like
vote.
weighing their beliefs and weighing, like going, I don't like this and I don't like, but pro-life, but then again, she's soft on crime, that kind of thing.
I don't
On
know.
an even playing field, no. But with some fucking chaos going on,
I think you'd rather have like a guy in there
No shot.
that has the similar thought as she does.
Who?
Similar mindset. There's Adolf Hitler.
Hillary Clinton would get elected way before Sarah Palin. Hillary Clinton would massacre her head-to-head in any debate. And even people who like Sarah Palin couldn't deny that she got Hillary would massacre her in a head-to-head.
Her voice is just so
Yeah, but it
annoying.
doesn't matter. When you win, that doesn't matter. That's the thing about it. That's how stupid liberals are, that they think that if you study up and you're a better debater, that means shit to the average American. Like when John Kerry debated George Bush, he out-facted him, and he was smarter than him. He said more knowledgeable things, and he was more correct about everything.
But he was Frankenstein.
But then Bush just went, well, 9/11, you want that again? Come on, let's go, guys. And everyone went like, yeah, I know what you're saying, George.
Yeah, but then reporting for duty really made a fool out of him.
Fucked it up with that.
I blame him for all of it. I blame him for all of it. And also, they don't stand, liberals don't even, the Democrats don't even stand up for who they're supposed to stand up for. Like gay, when they were talking about gay marriage in the debates, Bush had a really salient point. He didn't say, I don't think people should be gay. He didn't say anything anti-gay. He said marriage is a really simple contract that's understood everywhere in the country. And if you start having it be different in different places, that's a very volatile issue, and it's a little scary. And that's something that pro-gay people could get behind. It was a good fucking argument. Then they throw it to Kerry, and he goes, "Well, I heard Dick Cheney's daughter's a fucking dyke." Like he
brought that up out of nowhere.
That was his whole
so
argument.
Ham-handed.
Hey,
she chews box. That'll teach her.
And you're the fucking liberal. Like
reporting
they just
for duty.
What a tool! What an embarrassing. Plus, I don't think anybody liked the fact that he married rich. I don't think people like the fact that he married a rich broad.
A rich,
and he was
ugly
like the Heinz
broad.
chick.
Rich, ugly, foreign,
ketchup,
stupid broad.
Who didn't want to be first lady whatsoever?
Yeah, nobody wanted to look at her.
She didn't want to be.
My name is Tisha Heinz,
Remember?
and I have something to say.
Something.
Don't say.
Exactly. Put your pussy on my burger. That's what we care about. Squeeze your menstrual fluid onto my burger, Heinz bitch, and fucking hit the road. Exactly. I'm gonna have a wiener.
Put some Heinz ketchup on your snatch and eat it.
Exactly.
It's the only way I can kill a taste.
Sarah Palin offends me because the way she said in her last thing, whatever the fuck she said, that we should pray more, like that we should be more religious in America because our economy would be stronger and we'd be safer, like that we would prosper more. To me, that's the most offensive religious idea.
How is that?
She's not saying we should praise God because he gave us life and because he's, he loves us.
Because it would give us more golden idols.
Yeah, because he would give us more shit.
Right.
That's the most offensive Christian American attitude.
Stuff
and that's, because that's, even my mom, who's devout Catholic, says you don't pray for money.
Of course not.
Yes, that's the one thing. You can't do that. You pray for other shit.
One thing I do pray for.
As a public leader figure, that if you pray, you'll get stuff. What do you say to the fucking little old ladies that pray and get cancer and die while they're praying, going, please, Lord, this hurts. Ow! Then now it hurts more. Please, Lord. Oh, they took out my vagina and it's and now I can't. Okay, but thank you. But God, please now. Oh, my mortgage is gone. I'm homeless. Please.
But I'm like praying. There's a fucking 6 underneath the king at the dealer.
Exactly.
Well, the old ladies aren't looking at it right.
Please break.
And
have the dealer break.
Is that old lady like just God hates her? That's the only.
That's why he had her cunt removed. And he had a fucking. He turned into a JFK hanger.
Well, if there was God is fake and isn't there. But if he was, it's the idea of saying that if you ask him, he'll give you stuff is just fucking offensive. And then you have no responsibility. Like, he gave us the earth, but there's certainly no responsibility to take care of it. Again, I don't give a shit about the earth, and I don't think there's a God. But if you're in that world where things matter to you, she's a cunt.
Doesn't bother me at all. Honestly, and we talked about this in the break. The reason people say she's not. It's because people feel protective of her because of the way the left attacks her in ways that they don't attack other liberals. That's what bugs me. Like, I didn't care what Letterman said. It didn't bother me at all that he made the joke about A-Rod and her daughter. But I don't see any late night talk show host doing that about Obama's kids or about a that's to me the issue.
No,
People
I
feel
totally agree.
protective
They
about
go
that.
after her in ways that make her really glorified, but that's going to continue. That's not going to
But no
stop.
one has gotten fired for it. Imus made fun. I did a racial joke, and he gets fired. How about this? David Schuster said something about Hillary Clinton's. He was an MSNBC correspondent. Said something about Hillary Clinton's daughter. He said that Chelsea goes, "Is she pimping her out?" Oh, the network apologized. Schuster was suspended for 2 weeks. No one has any penalties for attacking Palin. She's not this powerful thing. People just feel protective of her. She believe me, she's never going to win
she doesn't
an
have
election.
any power now, but I think she could take it. I really do.
But there's no penalties for attacking her. Like Hillary Clinton's daughter.
So?
No, but I'm saying that shows you, like, where the power base. There's no.
Well, no,
Hillary
true.
Clinton's a powerful person. She fucking mouthed off about her daughter being spoken about that way. The whole network groveled.
Yeah.
They suspended a guy.
Liberals are there's just such guideless, full of shit people. Because I mean, I have, I guess, liberal views about some things.
I could see that.
Like little boy
but
sex.
I hate the fucking. Yeah, look, I'm liberal about. Look, if the boy is
boy sex. Lou is very left wing about.
Look, I just feel like if a man wants to have sex with a boy, and the boy is small enough to be overpowered,
absolutely,
then he should go ahead and have sex with him. I mean, why did God make him so young and frail?
Exactly.
It wasn't so that you could fuck him if you felt like.
Why did God make his arms so breakable and chicken wing like?
Exactly.
Good point, Lou.
Good point.
Kid's got six-pack abs.
You
You pass that up.
Jesus. But
it's on the swim team.
Exactly. Well, like when Obama was running for president, there's all these movements and that beautiful poster and a song by what's his fucking head.
You know what? It's
and all that
about
stuff.
hope.
But it's all gone.
It's all about
Nobody's.
hope.
He's fighting for his life
hope now.
Like he's all this time that he's been fighting for healthcare reform and bank reform and all this stuff. Where are those people? Why isn't there a really cool poster that says healthcare with R&B singers singing it? Why aren't there's rallies against it and there's all those fucking Tea Party people?
You know why? Because
they're activated, but there's no liberals actually getting in the streets and going, hey, let's get behind this president that we were all so excited about. They've all gone on with their lives. They don't give a shit.
No.
They're not into it. They don't care. They don't actually,
They don't.
you know what I'm saying? They
the
don't.
people
They don't.
themselves
They
moved
don't.
on.
It's no good. It's no good, Henry. I can't have it. You can't do it. Can't do it.
They all moved on to the next cause of not using the R word and things like that.
Exactly.
So they spread themselves pretty thin as far as causes go.
Yeah, let's
and
go
then
up
the
to the R word.
politicians themselves, the Democrats, know that it is not a popular fucking platform, the healthcare thing, and they want to keep their jobs in November.
So they're not doing nothing.
By the way, they will not.
Well,
There's
by the
gonna
way,
be a
that's what
purge.
Congress is doing. But what about all the grassroots people? What about all those people that were knocking on doors?
Sure that there's no retard thing.
The great schlep to Florida. Why the fuck isn't that shit going on now?
You mean like the Acorn, that great organization? You mean like those people that were fucking just criminals?
Well, see, Obama.
Well, there was a lot of people that were active. I mean, Acorn was one group,
faking
but there was a
votes
lot of people.
I understand, but there's a lot of. See, the liberals have so many causes. They have the whole world to save. There's a global warming. There's fucking the R word, the N word. There's poverty. Oh my God, they're saving everyone.
And Republicans are focused. It's just fuck faggots, stop abortion, and steal money from poor people.
At least we're all united in that.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Like Republicans and conservatives, when you look at like Fox News,
funnel the money
and
upward. Fuck the faggots. That's all.
They're
keep your eye on the ball.
Like Republicans and conservatives are united. You will hear, Hannity talking about all the other guys that are. You'll hear them talking about Beck and stuff like that, and they're like buddies.
Yep.
They're talking about buddies. We're all for this cause. The liberals, but they won't even talk about each other, and they don't agree with each other half the time. This one isn't left enough. This one used some language that offended me. So they'll never get the power base that the right has. They'll just never have it. Look at it in Congress. Yep. They can't even get that fucking shit together, and they run the joint.
No, it's amazing. They have both. They even had
and they even
had the 60%. They had the 60%.
They can't make it happen. And every other Democrat is tripping over their own cocks as they fucking try to hold their office. You got Charlie misappropriation of funds Rangel that has been the Teflon fucking douche in New York for years. He's finally That finally came down on him. You got this other motherfucker that decides he wants to tussle a fucking guy's hair and
well, he's a Democrat, right?
And hang out with fucking naked guys in showers.
That's right.
We should get into the Massa thing because that Larry King stuff last night was great. Yes, Florentine.
I think the problem is I think Obama talked a good game when he ran, and everyone bought it, hook, line, and sinker.
He's a great candidate.
And he hasn't shown anything yet, but it's early. I mean, but people that really bought it, like, holy shit, within 2 weeks everything's going to change. Just hope change, and it hasn't. So everyone just pretty much is hiding from it. It's like it's like your friend that brags that the Jets are going to kick the fucking Colts' ass. We're going to fucking blow them out, and all of a sudden the Colts are up like 38-0 in the third quarter, and you're trying to call him on the phone. He's not answering.
Well, that's what I think.
He's hiding because he talked some shit.
Exactly it.
And then
that's
back
what
it
I
up
think.
right now.
I think Obama's still trying to hang in there, and but he needs more than just him. He's one branch of the government. Nobody's fucking helping him.
But no
they're
one
all
wants
hiding or just not doing anything.
They want to keep their jobs.
Yep.
And they know that the majority of the American people have health care, first of all. Do we want the insurance companies to fucking reel this shit in? Yes, but it doesn't mean overhaul the whole fucking system, reach more fucking deeper into my fucking
but even
pocket.
if whether or not that's a good idea, and it's nobody wants to listen to us debate healthcare reform.
I know.
But even if whether or not it's a good idea, nobody that fucking put him in office and got energized because it was sexy then is there trying to help this happen. No. They're not trying to help this happen.
There's a new show on.
Well, if you voted for Obama, which is more people that than didn't, then you should be taking part in this thing. Because it was because he picked a hard fight. We didn't just let's go Democrat this year and swing a little that way. Right. This was a choice by Americans and by certain important fucking stupid cunt actors and stuff to put a guy in who's going to and he said when he ran, he didn't do a bait and switch. He said, the first thing I'm going to do is totally overhaul healthcare, and he became president based on saying that. But now that he's trying to do it, everybody's hiding. They expect him to do it by himself.
Well, because all the poor people that were like, I'm voting for Obama, we're going to finally get some money, realize the healthcare thing. If you don't have health insurance under his new plan, you get fined $700.
Yeah.
So like, wait a minute, I can't afford it. Now I'm going to get fined $700 at the end of the year.
Yeah, exactly.
You think Obama becomes a waste of time in the end?
No, I think he still has a chance.
You think he's got a chance to do some stuff?
Man. I really do. I don't know why I like him, but I do.
I mean, he doesn't give up because now it's like healthcare ain't going away. He just refuses, and he just went to start making speeches on the road about it.
Good luck.
And he's saying, he's
November,
trying.
I think he's going to be a lame
He
duck.
thinks it should happen again. It's debatable whether it shouldn't, but he's trying. So, I don't know.
I think
does he get some stuff done, though?
He's giving it a shot.
After 4 years?
No. I do think, though, it's true what people are saying, that the shit is generally broken. It's just, none of them can do anything anymore.
Nothing gets done because no one on either side wants to give the other side anything.
No. They don't, and it's like a bad divorce when things.
Yeah.
Oh man,
equated to that.
You stop empathizing with each other, and then it just ends.
Hey, this guy wants in badly. Let's go to Jeff in Massachusetts. Jeff.
Hey guys, love the show. Anthony, it seems like you use the word liberal to mean Democrat.
No.
I'm a Democrat. I'm not liberal. I make over $200,000. I have guns. I think, the vast majority of the country is in the middle, whether you're Democrat
well, the right to life, the right to life Democrats are the ones that are holding up the health care.
That's right.
Bill, because they don't want to. He's got the number of votes. He can just shove it through. But there's Democrats that don't. They want a guarantee that money's not going to be used for abortion.
They just want their fucking name in the paper. That's
so they're not voting for it.
They have handlers, those guys who go, if you take a stand on, you're a right to life, aren't you? Kinda.
Yeah.
If you take a stand, you're on CNN right tomorrow.
Which ones are there? I agree with almost everything you say. I just want to let you know that there's a lot of Democrats out here that aren't too far away from you. We're not all liberals, not even close.
All right,
well, that's what mostly most of the country's in the center, and the extremists try to pick off everybody that's on the far left, far right tries to pick people off. And the thing is, if you can say something, it's like the thing I was saying about what Bush said about gay marriage. He picked a centrist, view against gay marriage. That's something, a good 30% on the left of it, and everybody on the right will totally agree with you. But Democrats don't do that. Democrats don't. And if they do it, they go way way too
too far.
So they have no idea what they think.
Who's the pro-life Democrats that are holding up? I didn't even know there were any.
Yeah, I'm not sure their names.
A couple?
But, no, I think there's about 6.
What they want to know is that federal funds won't be used for abortions?
They want it written, guaranteed that no federal funding will go towards abortions in this health care bill. So that is holding up the bill as far as them being able to slide it through with 51 votes. But
the fucking right to life.
Abortion is $400. Pay out of your pocket.
Yeah.
You're not
that
going to
is true. You're right. It's not like it's $10,000.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's see, half and a ride to the clinic. All right. Hey, I need that money. You were so close to the band, you were scared. Damone never showed up.
Damone rules.
Fucking Damone.
Damone rules.
He never showed up.
And nobody gave him his ticket money. He was trying.
You wanted it as much as I did. Fucking
what a scumbag.
Motherfucker. He pumps her twice, leaves her fucking waiting with a cunt full of jizz, no orgasm. She has a fucking baby. She gets pregnant.
Didn't he say you wanted it more than I did?
Yeah, you wanted it more than I did. All right, I'll take it back.
I'll take it back.
Hey, I need that money.
I love that guy.
Hey, so Master was on Larry King. This audio is worth playing because Larry was obsessed with asking him if he groped that guy.
If he groped the guy. Yeah, the story is really out of hand, man. He is making accusations that because he was voting against the bill that the Democrats wanted him out. And he said it came directly from the White House. That's why they made these allegations about
these creeps.
Sexual little tussles that he did.
But if this is the guy, the more I hear about Massa, if this is the guy, like one of the guys who's holding up the health care bill,
yeah,
I want the health care bill to pass. Because this guy, the more I hear about this guy, the more I think he's a cunt. The more I hear about this guy, at first I was on his side totally, but the more I hear about him, he's like, fuck him. He's just a disgruntled prick.
Well, I would like to see him gone, but I wouldn't like to see that. Oh.
I want to see it pass.
Yay, pudding!
I do want to see it pass, and I didn't until just this moment.
Really? Just right this
As
moment.
you pass the gas.
No, I'm sick of nothing getting done. It's just pass it already. The whole country got to fall
cutting off
apart.
60% of your salary despite your fucking wallet.
Nah, they ain't gonna fuck with my salary.
Oh, they will too.
I know how to hide money.
Is it just awful?
Is it bad, Lou?
God damn, Lou.
What's the matter, Lou? All of a sudden you don't want to be on the team anymore?
Lou comes in to plug some gigs. Jim pees in his friggin' oatmeal and then farts and waves it right in his face. He's been nothing but nice to Jim. He put him on his HBO show. Jim's on his new show.
Right away he's getting refreshed.
Nothing but nice to him.
Oh, God.
And I'm being nice to Lou.
Help
I
Jim's
gave
career.
him Tinkle.
Right. He's just killing little fucking manners.
Gave him a role in an HBO series, new series.
I'm breaking your balls and you got it when you're getting fucking fresh.
You're getting fucking fresh.
Fucking fresh. Ruin my party. Don't get nervous. Don't get nervous.
It's all fine. It's all calm.
It's all right now.
Yeah, it's all right, girls. Don't get nervous.
2 balloons and fucking
nice
gangsters.
Party.
2 gangsters and some balloons and 2 whores.
I don't have a funny line about how it's the worst party ever.
Horrible party.
A couple balloons and 2 guys telling murder stories.
Ruined my party. Nice party.
It really was a bad
They really
party.
rolled it out for you, didn't they?
I love when he's talking to De Niro when Pesci comes back and he's just like, I just want what's mine. And De Niro's just sitting there like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, well, I guess you.
I did my time.
Yeah.
But actually, De Niro was doing a pretty decent job of listening to him, which shows you if somebody's really listening. When you're grousing about your life's problems, somebody's listening to you. Somebody might be coming up behind you and fucking hit you in the head.
Fucking kill you. And the guy you were talking to will kick you and look funny, make funny faces while he kicks you.
Jumped right in on the kick fest.
Yes, he did.
Oh, my God. You want to do the audio or you want to take a break? What do you want to do?
Let's hear
listen
a little.
Let's take a break and suck each other off.
Jim might have to shit. I just smelled that one. Maybe we should take a break.
Horrible.
By the way, you're welcome, Lou.
Sorry, Jim.
Can't share gas with a friend all of a sudden. He's selfish, takes for granted that there's more where that came from.
How old are you?
He's in his
41.
40s.
I'm 57 years young.
Right.
I'll be 58.
He's in his
March.
40s.
I'm 41.
41 years old.
And look
right.
what he's done in the last hour. Something even a 12-year-old goes, dude, you're 12. You got to stop that.
Yeah. No, I have a friend from high school who hasn't grown up, and he got fired from a telemarketing job. That's how he's doing. Shit. because he would light his farts all day. And his boss would just sit there going, oh. And then one day he announced that he had this thing he was going to do. He had everybody take the blinds, close the blinds in the office. And he took you can do this, by the way. He took a fluorescent lamp, table lamp, unplugged it, and he walked across the rug shuffling to get static. Yeah. Took out his dick, touched the lamp with his dick, and it lit up.
I didn't know about his dick.
Fluorescent bulbs will light with static electricity. And so he said his boss let him do, like his boss said, all right, go ahead and do it. You're fired if you do this, but I want to see it. And they all watched, and he did it, and the boss was like, wow, anyway, you're fired.
Pack your shit.
What a way to go out.
Yeah.
You get hired by an energy company for that.
What happened at your last job? Well,
yes, my cock lit up the room. Well,
a future boss has to respect that.
Yeah.
You got to respect that. Yes.
His cock will be in the space shuttle someday. Lighting our lunar trips.
Fuck it, we'll take a break, and we'll figure it out.
What do you say
next.
we all make love?
All right.
Catching up with Louis C.K. today, who's going to be at Caroline's all weekend long, starting tomorrow night. Thursday through Sunday. There's a million shows, but most of them are sold out already. So get on the phone if you want to see Louis and what he's been up to.
There might be a Friday late show added.
Yeah,
I think
they'll figure it out when they call.
Because it's not on the Caroline's website so well, you have to dig it out. Sunday, the 7 o'clock show, it's not on the regular show list. They made it a separate event, which is fucking stupid. Sorry. 7 o'clock Sunday is a benefit for my kid's school. It's the same show. It will feel like any other show.
Right.
It's just that it costs more money.
You can try.
And you're giving money to my daughter's school.
Let's be honest, you can try a little harder because it's for your kids.
A little bit harder. A little bit harder.
Just call Caroline's and they'll tell you what shows are available. And then we got Florentine in studio as well. He's got a lot going on. Mexicali Live, Teaneck, New Jersey, Friday. And then Saturday you go up to Mohegan Sun. Wow.
Yeah.
Cool. Good to see Florentine as well. And we get, yes, Kenny. Oh, no.
Jim Florentine does good Twitters, too.
He just got on Twitter.
Yeah, but like he does them good. Like yesterday, he went to get a newspaper.
Yeah.
And the lady behind the cash register said, "You want to buy any candy?" And Florentine said, "I'm 40 years old. I don't like candy. I'm not 8. I'm 40. I like blowjobs." That's what he twittered.
That long?
I did not Twitter that. Yeah. How many?
I didn't think you could fit that many characters in Twitter.
That's a little more than 140 characters there.
And then he said,
this fucking Kenny is having, look at him, he's so happy today.
I know.
Why are you so happy today?
The beginning of a Twitter story. And then the lady, she says, she goes like this, she says, "Oh, I ran out of room."
He's losing
I can't finish
Why are you
my
so
story.
happy today?
It's a terrific show. Why wouldn't I be happy?
Well, he's got that
You're just
right.
sitting in the corner watching the action, aren't you?
Yeah, that's what I do. I sit in the corner because I should be seen and not heard.
People notice on...
Well, no, that when you would stand in the clear open and just not talk. You're doing the opposite. You're hiding and talking a lot.
Kenny, people notice on the latest video we filmed that you have very dry lips.
My chapped lips.
Do you want to comment on all the dry lip jokes that are...
How's your boyfriend feel about that?
They
No.
say your lips are very chapped.
I'm great comedy fodder.
He is such an ass. I love him.
Kenny's lips are like an alligator asshole.
We're gonna have a weather.
Alligator's asshole.
Yeah.
What a great thing that must be.
Because it's always dragging the dirt. It has to be dry and unpleasant.
Think it's
This
awfully
makes
dry.
you just conjures an image of an alligator taking a hard shit, like the
Yeah.
alligator going.
A pellet
Training.
We forgot to ask Florentine about ass
See
eating.
reptiles or birds
Yeah.
like really forcing a shit. Just seems to come right out of them.
Oh, because it's
Who's
not
that guy?
hard.
Todd Glass is a comedian. Has
Yeah,
a
that's Todd.
hilarious bit about a bird like leaning on its wing on the tree and going, "If I could just shit this out right now." it was about seeing a really
wing.
big bird shit on a car that's like white and brown. He's like, he must have been sick. Like he feels bad.
Yeah.
He pictures the bird going, "Oh fuck."
If they don't get the duties out, they're not going to fly so
No,
well. They're going to be
exactly.
weighted down a little bit. Hey, Florentine, ass eating. Jimmy was bragging about your ass eating.
I'm saying that you like getting it done. I like getting it done. Those guys don't like their asses eaten. I love my ass.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I know what's going on with my ass.
Huh?
I don't want to put anyone through that shit.
After a shower or something like that.
I like
know.
eating a girl's ass, but having my ass eaten makes me uncomfortable.
Thank you. I am
Thank you.
from the same school.
Never
of
had that
thought.
done, Louis?
Somebody
I'm not saying
started
we've
doing
never
it
had
once.
it done, but
somebody started doing it. And you know what? There was a specific reason why I didn't like it.
Because there was a dog who
I
was
don't
licking
think about. No, that's fine because then I put the peanut butter where I want it and I can control the action. But I don't think about myself when I'm having sex. I'm just I'm in the moment with this person. I'm saying person because I sometimes fuck guys. But in this moment, I was laying on my stomach, and she started doing this, and I got this really vivid sense that I'm this big fucking whale on my stomach, and my sort of shapeless ass is kind of cocked up into the air, like I'm in a pose that it should be like a hot girl,
right?
And it's just that I know like my bald head is now facing up, and my kind of fucking hairy big back, and it just gave me a very unhappy feeling about myself.
Yeah,
if I was like fucking Derek Jeter with my ass stuck up in the air, I'd be like, yeah, eat it, bitch. You know it's good.
And A-Rod would.
Yeah, and A-Rod would be like, yes, dear.
Okay,
yes, sir.
When I'm having my ass eaten, I put my arms straight out and my legs, and I pretend I'm a superhero flying. And that's how I'm carrying the damsel in distress by her tongue.
Really? So you don't want it? Opie, you've never had that done?
I've had it done, yeah. I'm with Lou, though. It's kind of uncomfortable.
Love it.
I don't know.
It
just feels uncomfortable.
I guess I would prefer to.
I don't like.
It's just my taste. I would prefer to shove my cock into a woman's pussy and just roughly shove it in and out till I shoot cum up inside of her fucking
You're old
pussy.
school. Yeah, what's wrong with you? You're old
Why can't
school.
you do
Have you
both?
tried that? Have you had that done?
You're old school.
Wow.
Lou, they're not mutually exclusive.
Kinky.
Can do both.
Florentine, anything else on ass eating?
No, it's nothing like it, man. It's fucking great. I remember this girl I was dating. You remember I used to live with her
Yeah.
long time ago, the other one.
Yeah.
She just came home after like 3 years in a relationship, and she just friggin' lifted my ankles up and held me up like a little baby and just started eating my ass. So I'm like, afterward, I'm like, whoa, this is nice. And I'm like, where did this come from? She goes, yeah, my girlfriend just told me about she eats her boyfriend's ass, and you got to try it, and it's great. So I'm going to start doing that now. I'm like, fucking beautiful. Like a chick never does that 3 years in. First 6 months or whatever, they'll throw that out there and then they'll stop. And then she would do it every time.
Wow.
It's fucking great.
I had to bargain to get that done. Like, all right, if you want to see this movie, all right, if you eat my ass, I'll take you to that movie.
I'll take you to Alice in Wonderland.
We got Brett Michaels.
You eat my ass. Then I'll take you to the Mr. Fox, whatever it is.
Hey, Brett, you might not want to come in right now. We're talking about ass eating. We're talking about ass eating, Brett.
How are you guys doing today?
What's up, Brett? Brett Michaels, everyone.
Nice to meet you. You guys just keep. I'm just coming in to listen to the conversation.
We've run out of
I'm doing good.
Doing that right?
We've run out of room, sir. So just I don't know.
You guys keep talking. I'm just coming in.
No, you could add in. We're talking about pros and cons. Ass eating.
Yeah, getting your ass eaten.
Getting your ass eaten.
Is that giving or receiving?
Both.
Go ahead.
Grab that mic over there.
Yeah, both.
Just grab it.
There you go.
I have to love a woman to eat her ass. Like I have to feel for her. I just want to go. I just want to grab the way.
It's even better when you don't love them.
The same way that people love to grab a little kid's cheeks and go, "You little cutie." I just want to grab her. Just fucking stick my tongue up her asshole.
Cheeks.
I say the same thing to a girl's asshole. I love you so much. You're just the sweetest little thing.
Do we have a higher chair or a stool so Brett Michaels doesn't feel like he's at the
I'm good.
The kiddie table over there?
I've never been more comfortable in my life.
Look at it. We all have to turn around and look at you.
We're discussing having our asses eaten. Now, me and Florentine on the end love it. Lou, open it. Don't like their asses eaten.
I don't want my
fan.
ass eaten. No,
I don't like
but I will fucking go tonsils deep.
Yeah, we'll get in there.
In a girl's ass.
How do you feel?
I'm going to go with you on that one. I've never, I'm going to go with you on that one. I can go in deep with the tongue. I would like not to have my ass eaten.
Really?
No, wait. Only for this reason. Only for their safety as well.
Right.
You know what I mean? There's many things. I'd have a lot of nervousness going on down there. However, I'm a giving person. I like to give them a tongue,
that's what it is.
tongue lashing down.
Right. Brett, after a nice bath and you just dropped the deuce before, so prior to the bath.
Or in the bath.
No, in the bath. I drop the deuce.
Right.
Take the bath.
Then you come out. Now, you still nervous?
I might be up for an ass.
All right. Well,
it's nice.
Like it is a pretty direct hit if you fart during an ass eating. I mean,
God damn.
It's really, if she's blowing you, you just fart on her chin.
Right.
On her neck. It's just going right in.
Terrible thought.
She actually swallows it.
I haven't had a second cup of coffee yet. Man, you guys don't waste no time.
No, not at all.
We got to start early.
Balls deep.
Celebrity Apprentice starts Sunday already?
March 1st.
God, I remember when you came in here to promote the fact that you got hired or whatever.
With Sharon. Last time you were with
Sharon and us hanging out.
Dude, you were part of one of our big videos.
Yeah,
I know you're a big star, but this was big for us when that video went viral.
Susan Boyle.
When she was trash talking Susan Boyle. You were here having a good time with that, too.
And you remember when I said to you guys, I said, everyone was laughing. I said, I'm not going to make any comment because I don't know exactly what everyone's talking about. Remember, the good thing about my life is sometimes I'm aloof as to what's happening in current events. I'm like, yeah, she's great. Susan Boyle. Oh, yeah, Sharon was just going
Oh, she killed her. God bless Sharon for doing that, too. A little honesty doesn't hurt anybody.
No.
So you're out pushing Celebrity Apprentice.
Yeah, I'm just out. It starts this coming Sunday, and then I got the solo tour kicks off, and of all cities, Fargo. Delicious Fargo, North Dakota. I love Fargo. It's a great rock
What's
city.
the venue there? I'm wondering what they call
It's called The Venue.
The Venue?
The Venue is called The Venue. The arena, The Venue.
What a bunch of dopes in Fargo.
The roof
What do we call this?
That's why I do well there. It's literal like I am. I'm like, we're playing at the venue. What's the venue? The Venue.
The venue. You go to the venue. You play the guitar.
It's
and you
down
get the dollar
by the lake. They're going crazy down by the lake.
You play the venue. You play your guitar. You go eat the food, and you go home.
Congratulations.
You get the money for Canadian.
I'm not sure what I'm doing.
Fargoing.
Well, close to Canada.
Fargoing.
Close enough.
I've got Pittsburghese. A lot of yins. Yins doing all right. Everything ends with a question, even when you're asserting yourself. Yins are real nice.
That's how people start to sound when they get far away from places that matter. They just get like, let's at least talk interesting because
everything we're saying means nothing.
Oh, this state went up in flames. No one in New York would know about it for several months.
Nothing would be affected
until Brett's tour got rerouted. Then you'd hear it on the news.
Yes.
Fuck, Fargo blew up. When? Like 6 months ago.
How's Donald Trump, man? Any good Donald Trump stories?
Yeah, he's a pretty intense guy, man. He's funny, smart, witty, and I tell you what, you realize where he got there, the way he delegates and does stuff, man. It's funny because you're sitting there and he's taking in everything that's going on. So you kind of think he's not really paying attention to me, slacking in the corner, or like I said, he's on Trump time, which is early in the morning, and I'm on musician time, which is completely different. And it was he's on though, man. He's a smart guy.
You like doing the show?
Yeah, I did.
Who else is on the show, Brett, besides you and Sharon?
It's a good one,
Sharon, Daryl Strawberry, Sinbad, Cindy Lauper, it's Summer Sanders, and it's
and then you still tour, right? So you still tour
everything, yeah. Yep.
So it's probably fun for you because you don't give a shit how that shit goes, really. Right? It's not like you're some desperate actor trying to get on a TV. You're having fun doing that, but then you're a fucking rock star. So who even cares?
The best of both worlds.
It's great.
He did a song with
you're right, though. You're right.
And it's true you did songs with Miley Cyrus recently?
I did, yeah.
Could you tell her it's okay she could be a kid?
Yeah, it's exactly what I said.
What the fuck's wrong with this broad? She wants to be 30 already. Enjoy your...
She's great, man. I got to stick up for her, man. She's a good musician. I've known their family a long time, and we were doing. She's recutting Every Rose Has Its Thorn because her first concert was a Poison show, and and then that was in Nashville. She came down to the arena there a couple of years ago, and then she recut Every Rose, and then I played her Nothing to Lose, and she just sang some stuff on it. It was actually pretty cool. But yeah, I think in her position, man, I think you're forced to grow up fast when you're that.
Really?
You're going to get some nice royalties off of that.
Yeah, it's not going to suck.
Yeah, that's
not going to suck. Good. God damn. That's some cash that's going to be coming in soon.
Finally going to get that grill I've always wanted. Get that tooth filled in the back.
You know, a good point, Florentine. Jesus.
Yeah, because that
money's got to be good.
Sell.
That's going to be good.
Who are you going to roll with? What band is working with?
Just solo. I'm out by myself, and then,
you have no opening act?
This summer I go out. It's Brett Michaels or Leonard Skinner and Brett Michaels. Like they did it with Kid Rock last year, so I'm gonna go out this year, and it's kind of it's awesome because I'm.
Are you going to sing with them at all, or just totally separate?
Yeah, half. No, it'll be us and Skinner, and we'll go out and do 2 separate shows, and then probably at the end come out and hopefully do a couple songs.
I saw Skinner last year on that tour with Kid Rock. Yeah. Phenomenal.
They're great, right?
Unbelievable.
I would like to see that.
It's great. Every song, every song.
Is there any of them the same guys?
Every song they play.
Yeah. They're down to like 2 original members at this point, something like that. They've lost just about everybody. But they still sound like Skinner.
Forever,
they do.
I like the new singer. Well, not new, but I mean, I like the brother, man. I think he's fucking. What's his name? Donnie?
Johnny.
Johnny singing?
Yeah.
There's Donnie, Johnny, and Ronnie.
Ronnie, Johnny, and Donnie.
Yeah.
And Johnny's. I thought Donnie was a singer now.
Donnie was 38 Special, and then maybe he's...
Oh, right.
Yeah, where is Donnie these days? I used to drink beers with him when I was doing
still
Radio
drink beers
Rochester.
with him. I saw him down. I did a thing with all those guys at the Fox Theater for Skinner's like reunion thing, and he was great.
Is he still singing? Album come out of the Fox Theater. They did a live album from there, like 76.
Wait, is Donnie still singing?
Yeah.
With 38 Special?
I don't, you know what? I don't know, but I think so, yeah. I'm going to go with yes.
How do you not know everything in rock and roll?
Damn it.
What's the matter?
I'm going back to my coffee. I was enjoying you guys having fun.
Let's go back to eating ass.
Let's go back to ass licking.
Like ass licking. Yeah, that's what we really
rock.
need to
That's
know.
all I know, and Skinner's going to be fun.
Bob Kelly tells us, because I was at...
How do you segue from ass butt licking?
I know. We just were all over the place.
And then right into Miley, and then Skinner.
Yeah, well...
That's all part of the same thing.
Miley, that's true.
Yes, I should say...
I won't say a word because, you know...
Yeah, by the way, there are women who I would let him be
talking about
how old is she again? Miley
she's 17.
She's only 17, but she really...
Anyway, so
17, by the way, is completely legal in New York.
It depends on how old you are, though.
No, it doesn't.
I thought there was a fucking...
17
you can only be a certain amount of
is
years.
the age of consent. You just can't show them anything pornographic.
And how would you know this?
You can't show them nudity on the internet.
You know every every hair to be
I know every
I
state. I know every law.
Really?
Don't fuck around with
That's
me.
right,
I got to Facebook that chick back then.
Massachusetts is 16 unless the girl's a virgin.
What?
Then it's 18. If she's already
how do you
deflowered,
that's impossible.
I know, but it's a law that's actually on the books.
Wait a minute. So if
she's 16 unless she's a virgin.
In
And then
which case it's 18. So what, you have to fuck her when she's 18 and put her in a time machine?
You have to have gotten a 16-year-old that's already been fucking.
Somebody broke the law somewhere.
If she's already fucking,
but
she's fair
no
game.
one's allowed to fuck her, so someone has to illegally
somebody
have
else is
fucked her.
16 and
I
fucks
see.
her. Then you can fuck
So
her.
you got to get your 16-year-old nephew. You got to fuck this girl.
Yeah, could you just please fuck this girl?
Get in there.
One stroke.
I could just, one pump.
Just put it in, break the hymen.
Break
Bust
the
that
plane.
fucking hymen, and I'm in.
Just break the plane like over the goal line. As long as you break the plane, it's
You just got to bring
Break the plane.
Yeah.
You just got to bring an opener.
Just reach into the end zone and then get the fuck out.
That law makes all the sense in the world. I don't know why, but it makes total sense.
It does.
It's basically saying if she's 16 and someone then fuck it, she's
Then fuck it,
worthless
she's
anyway.
done.
She's
Fucking
her life is
busted.
shit.
Yeah,
She's
damaged goods. But New York is the most fucked up thing because 17, you could absolutely have any kind of fucking ridiculous sex you want, but God forbid she saw a picture on your computer of pornography.
That's crazy.
That's illegal.
That's crazy.
Isn't it fucking?
You know, the
also
thing is,
makes
wherever
sense.
they put that line, the fact that you have to, like, stop people from fucking a kid that's too young by making a law is just so fucked up that people need to be told. I mean, to me, there's like a more general, like, if you'd see a girl, to me, here's the rule. If you picture her pregnant in your head, and if that makes you want to vomit,
Right.
don't fuck
Holy
her.
shit, that's fucking funny.
I mean, that's how I felt like when Britney Spears first came on the scene and people were talking about her as a sex object. I thought, okay, well, put a pregnant stomach on her. You're gonna want to vomit and cry.
I feel that with any
don't
woman.
fuck her.
Yeah, exactly. I don't care how old they are.
well.
I don't care if she's
Pregnant.
52. I don't want to see a big pregnant fucking
Paging Doc Martin. Paging Doc Martin.
Hey, Brent, how did you guys deal with that? Like, back in the Poison days in the beginning, you must have had you deal with the underage girls. If you knew how old they were, did someone card them before they got on the bus?
Yeah, it's pretty scary. But you know, my thing is, I'm going to go with you on this one. That's not my thing. You know what I mean? When we started to break, and when I say break, you know, the back of the van, we didn't have the bus. We hadn't graduated up. We were still the roadie and the band. So, touring back then was, but most of it, I mean, we were 19, 20, 21 years old. So it wasn't much of a problem when when you get to the ripe old age that I am now. It's, that's just not my thing. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I mean, I appreciate
the girls that are on your show, they're all mature women.
20, most of them say, a lot of them, it's like 23.
Some of them are already a little broken down already. They've already been through some shit.
Just right
where you want
I think they
them.
were all virgins. That's what they told me going in. I must have been sadly mistaken.
Yeah, the young stuff doesn't, because their attitudes are not sexy. Most times if a girl's 18, she's not going to know how to be dirty or not, she's not going to do what I need her to do anyway. So I prefer somebody a little older.
What do you need him to do?
You can't get an 18-year-old to spit in your asshole. That's fucking difficult. A girl's 24, 25 will do that.
Well, you can if she's been misguided and destroyed inside.
Yeah, I always like to say, well, what's your dad like?
Connecticut.
And she's like, I don't know.
Or if she's Cuban. And you go down there with some cash and talk to her dad for a minute.
Yes, can I rent that girl pulling the plow?
That's such a gross thing. I know a guy, I grew up with this guy who does that. The guys that go down to places like Cuba, places where your dollar, the American dollar outweighs them so much that you can fuck young girls.
You just buy people.
Then their parents will feed you dinner and sing a mariachi song for you and send you in there. Jesus. Such a fucked up way to live your life.
If you're an executive going to Thailand, we always talk about this.
Yeah.
It's just, you're so guilty. You just, there's nothing.
What are you doing over there?
There's no business to conduct over
it's
there.
like, well, no, you don't get it. The hotel there has really good room service.
Yeah. You always hear like, the beaches.
You went all the way to
beaches
Bangkok.
Are great.
Yeah,
the beaches are
I never
nice.
hear the amusement park there.
Yeah,
water rides.
Yeah, there's no Bangkok Disney.
No, the beaches are nice in Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah.
And it's 2 hours away, and you can't fuck children there. You fucking liar.
Yeah, the guy's like got his business suit on, like he's closing a big deal in some Bangkok shithole. Fucking is selling dirt. Nobody's going there to have sex with children.
Of course, if you're not, you should be. Why else would you go to Bangkok? I just wanted to see a rickshaw up close. Fucking idiot. And eat fucking food that gives me diarrhea. Stay in the States.
There was some executive that got fucked up recently with his laptop.
Oh yeah,
went through customs and they turned it on.
Porn
and
in it.
I mean, this guy must have just shut his computer off with all the pictures on the screen.
His
So when he
screensaver
turns it on, they all just pop. Yeah, his screensaver.
It's like a 13-year-old pussy.
Fucking Dakota Fanning.
It's amazing that, a guy that has that much money, a big executive, you think he would throw away his laptop. Like, if I downloaded kiddie porn just on a fucking whim, if I was whatever, I would go, you know what, I'm getting rid of this fucking, I'm gonna go buy another Dell laptop for $400. I'm just chucking this one.
This one's going in the fireplace.
Well, how about you just
around
fucking,
the country?
How about you just email yourself the pictures and then fucking rewipe your hard drive before you get on the plane, you dumb fuck.
He knows
just
how
log
to do
into
it.
the email
He knows
account.
how to do it.
There you go.
I'm just
So now
saying.
you got another rap on
if I
you,
put
which
myself
is
through the-
electronically sending the pornography,
I
which
don't-
is
I have
another
no desire
crime.
for kid porn. I mean, as much as I'm dirty, who hasn't
You've
seen
had
a mouth
enough.
shit in?
You've had enough,
My
right?
fucking my computer's
seen it all.
squeaky clean. My computer's
Here's
squeaky
what you
clean.
can find on mine.
I wouldn't. There's even if you're into it, even if you were fucking into it, you'd be crazy to fucking
No,
download
even
anything.
what's his name? Pete Townsend just looked at it because he was, he was molested as a kid.
Yeah,
and he looked at this stuff and then reported it to
he turned himself
to the
in.
government.
Yeah.
So he
people who are
reported the
beating up
site
boys
to the
going to watch
government, and
boxing
then now-
videos.
Yeah.
I made a mistake. I think I downloaded some porn with children. It's what? What'd you do?
Bobby's at Scotland Yard.
Because he used a credit card or some shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he saw this shit come up and turned himself in. And
Yeah,
then
when
he
you're
arrested
starting
him.
to put in the code, the 3-letter code on your credit card on the
back,
fuckchild.com, you got to pause and go,
Expiration date.
Hold on a second.
Yeah. Wait,
Perhaps not.
I think it happens when you're jerking off and it sounds like a great idea, and then as soon as you come, you're like, oh boy, I better call somebody.
But
So that's why I
tell us
just
about
think-
the Celebrity Apprentice on ABC.
really. I stay completely out of that one. Having 2 daughters, I'm like,
No, but I mean,
that's why
anybody who would register themselves in a kid porn
I go
thing
back with you to this on this.
Yeah.
I go back to,
Yeah.
I digress,
Yes.
if I may,
Yeah.
to the fact that it's just not an interest, so I'm not, and I stick to my pager. I still get
Yeah.
a pager, so you
Do you
can't.
really? You have a
No, but it
pager?
sounds good.
Yeah, got 'em like
You can't get in trouble with a
Hey,
pager.
911, this is important.
That's true. You can't get trouble with a pager. Yeah.
You know.
Phone number pops up, right?
Yeah, no. Who, what? I never saw. Like,
I don't know what that is.
Did you notice I actually acted like I was still
Like you had a pager.
but it was very good because I bought into it. Do you still have one? What a fucking easily led idiot I am.
But The Apprentice rocks. It's a great show.
There
Please
you go. See,
tune in Sunday night.
Are you allowed to
and
say
tune
who
in
won?
early if you want to see me on the show?
Oh shit! Oh shit!
Oh, early exit.
Earlier.
Could be a teaser there.
Oh shit! I thought
I could
you won the
going
way.
either direction. You don't
Yeah,
know.
you don't know.
I don't know.
Let's see. Dice has the record right now. Let's see if Brett can beat Dice's record.
Dice.
Dice
You've
is
only
in
been on
tomorrow.
for a quarter of an episode. Thank you. That's it. I didn't even get per diem.
The newly married
They took
Andrew
back like
Dice Clay.
$38 per
Tomorrow.
They're saying Brett has to go because you only had a few minutes.
What the fuck?
Steve's outside.
What
saying
happened
this.
to I come back? I'll come back and talk more about ass licking and.
All right.
Yeah, and then also The Apprentice. Did I mention?
Yes.
Yeah, no, we'll get the word out
Guys,
for you,
thanks
Brett.
for having me.
Now he's
step
off
in
to the
on you.
Disney Channel over here to
I'm
talk
sure.
about ass licking and.
Well, this just woke me up. Now I'm
Yeah,
ready to
hey,
go.
now you're awake.
good luck, man.
Get over to the sewing channel. I'll be back.
I hope you do well.
There's some niche channels here.
See you, Brett.
The Lug Wrench channel.
Great to meet you. Nice to
Thank you, sir.
See you, bye.
All right, Brett. Brett Michaels from the Celebrity Apprentice.
sir.
We're going to have you back after they kick your ass off that show, right?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
I'd love to do
No,
that.
we'll come back to promote that shit. Brett Michaels when he's on tour with
Hey, Jim,
Skinner.
Brett, Pete books Brett.
Who's that?
Pete Pappalardi from AGI.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, with
Are you with
yeah.
them?
Yeah, he's with that. Yeah.
Oh, shit, okay.
Oh, he's my agent. Okay, I didn't
Yeah,
know
he's
that.
our agent, so.
Dennis and, there's Pete, Dennis, and
Yep.
Alan.
Adam.
Oh, Adam, right, Adam. He does Metallica.
All right, I'll let you guys.
See you,
All right,
man.
Brett.
All
Take
right.
care, man.
Later, man.
That's going to be a good show, Brett Michaels and
Oh,
Skinner
yeah.
this
I'd love
summer.
to see that.
Play some Skinner, man.
Let's get the fuck out of here.
Yeah,
It's a nice day in New York. Fuck
It's
that
too
shit.
nice to hang out in
go
a
have breakfast
radio
or something.
studio. We've done our time.
You want to go smooch?
We could.
So what do we got to get done? Louis C.K.
Pissing my food,
Caroline's, that's selling. 212-757-4100. We'll make it easy. You call them. They'll tell you what shows are still available. And we're all excited about Louis' show that's going to be on FX after freaking Rescue Me.
Dennis Leary.
Nice. That's a nice
great.
spot.
It's a great spot.
And then that new show, Sons of Anarchy, their premiere, we also get to follow their season premiere. So that'll be the biggest lead.
That's a nice show right there. And then we got Jim Florentine. What are we doing, Jim?
Well, every Saturday night, that metal show on VH1 Classic. We're in the middle of fourth season. And then this Friday, Mexicali Live, Teaneck, New Jersey. And then Saturday, Mohegan Sun in Connecticut. Every Wednesday, Uncle Vinny's in Point Pleasant.
And
This
Jim
month.
Florentine on Twitter, right?
Mr. Jim.
Mr. Florentine.
Oh, Mr. Fuck. All right, Mr. Jim Florentine on Twitter.
And I'll be in Chicago area this weekend. Friday, St. Charles, 2 shows. Saturday, Zany's, Vernon Hills, 2 shows. And
Don't leave your oatmeal on the table, folks.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, with this
You know what I'm
guy,
saying?
don't leave your oatmeal with me.
This fella's likely to piss in it.
yeah, hey, get him a drink, get him some oatmeal, pissing it for me. From De Niro and Raging Bull, doing his jokes.
Pissing it for me.
Oh, and one more thing.